cool. I like it. It's cool. I like talking and educating people or telling my story or the Zeus story to some degree.
Are you on camera solely for the furtherance of the Zeus brand, or do you? Because honestly, let's be honest, there's a celebrity hood that comes with it. Like, I'm telling you, I know a couple of. They be like, yo, you know him, he follow you. Get me on the show. I'm like, what the fuck you think I got going on? But so you're kind of like you're like a celebrity too.
Yeah, I mean, people, technology, people can research who owns companies. It's not hard to find me, online, but I don't.
To speak closer into the mic, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he said the mic picks me up. You sure?
Oh,
okay. Here, let me make sure.
Yeah.
Pause.
So wait, but you are a little bit like you like all facets of it. Like obviously the business side, which we're gonna get all the way into. This is gonna be my finest pocket watching episode ever. I love having like the CEOs on. Like when I have the rappers on, I'm like, damn, if only I had your boss here.
If only I had your boss.
For real, like imagine like me having like Epic Records, but I have the CEO, the person who runs it all. Like I'm talking to the rapper who only knows that he got
It's hard to get us to do these interviews. I mean, first of all, we're very busy. It takes a lot of time to prepare for any type of interview, our bandwidth when you're in a position like this is very small. It's like we don't have a lot of bandwidth to do a lot. So prioritizing certain things are important, but it's tough. So a lot of times you just, you want the stars to talk about their projects. You want them to explain their experience, what they have going on, or, get into the minutiae nuances of everything. But, I mean, there's, we look at things sometimes from 30,000 feet up, Damn, it's like 30,000 feet.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
You already started hitting me with the media talk. I love it.
And the media
talk. You mad media train like
mad media train.
Brother, we're gonna have a regular conversation. You can slip out.
Let's do it. Let's do it. He said
you ain't gonna give me the talking points like we're doing a quarterly call, my dude. Like it's not happening. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Off the Record podcast.
I love it.
I'm here with one of the guys who I've wanted to sit with because I always gotta quote my favorite rapper, the GOAT, Drizzy Drake. Always talk to bosses, never second in command, bro. So rather than speak to anybody about his business, we got the man himself here, the owner and CEO of Zeus. We have, I don't know why I only call you Lemmy because of Natalie.
Yeah.
What's your full name? Is
Lemuel Plummer.
Lemuel Plummer.
Lemuel Plummer, yes.
Now, you are someone who I've been really intrigued about because watching entrepreneurs navigate new business spaces to me is way more entertaining than watching, like with all due respect, the people in the circus do the same dances or flips. Mm-hmm. You're the pioneer of streaming. You're the pioneer of showing people that cord cutting is 100% in effect. Mm-hmm. You're the pioneer that's showing that, hey, we could create a network with black programming. Mm-hmm. You're the pioneer of so many things. Man, I love
this. Thank you, man.
No, well, I'm being honest with you.
I appreciate you.
Brother, I probably watch the shit out of you, bro. Trust me. Like, I'm not giving you credit just to give you, because I got some real questions. But you are doing something that may go unnoticed by a lot of people in the public, but I've watched and I'm saying, what the fuck? I go on the App Store, I look at the rankings, I'm like, yo, you're beating out many of the companies that I'm investing in the stock market. Really, truthfully. I kind of want to get a little bit of your background first because I don't know where you came from. You tell me, fill me in.
First of all, thank you. I appreciate that. All the kind words. I've been very fortunate and blessed to have grown up in the media industry. Okay. My parents own several local television networks,
really,
in Michigan, New Orleans, and other major markets in the U.S. So I kind of grew up in the business. My dad was actually one of the first black African American television network owners in the media space. It was a religious network, but he launched it. He launched it in 1982.
Wow.
1982. Was around the time, Bob Johnson and those guys launched BET. He chose to go more of a religious Christian route. Bob Johnson went more secular, mainstream. So, but they started pretty much around the same time, and it was very difficult for them getting a license to, have a network, a linear channel on the cable systems and satellite systems. So it was a lot, but
was it lucrative back then?
It was a different model. I mean, the religious model it worked completely different because there was no advertisement. But they would basically, the way it would work is they would charge pastors for airtime. So they would say, "Hey, look, we have a 24-hour network. You guys have these programs. Here's the fee. We're in this many homes on this cable or satellite system. Pay us a fee," and the pastors would pay the fee. Pastors would get the money from the congregation. Part of their budget would be towards media and broadcast, and so they would pay all sorts of local stations, whether that would be TBN, my dad's networks, or any other network that would allow them to carry their program. But that was that model. They would charge certain religious leaders or organizations a fee to carry their programming. Secular market would charge advertising, but they would also make money off of the cable and satellite providers. So, the Comcast, the Spectrums, the Direct TVs and, Dish Networks, all those guys would pay pretty much every major mainstream secular network a fee to carry their network, right? So the average customer would pay around $147 a month for cable and internet. And so they would charge, or they would pay the networks a small fee, but those fees add up. You know what I mean? So if you're Comcast and you have 30 million customers paying you $146 a month, that's how much they would just make off of the subscriptions. And they're the real originators of the subscription model, right?
Of course.
Before Netflix, there were and they're still operating in that form, but pretty much the cable and satellite providers charge a monthly fee for you to even have internet access or cable so that you could even stream Netflix or any other, platform that exists. So those are different types of models, but, and they're still operating. So, the networks are still getting paid, they're still making money, whether it's secular or religious, but my dad sold his networks. And he's doing his thing. But that's how I got in the business. Sorry, I know that was a long answer.
No.
But
great. No,
just gave you context.
No, I'm glad, because people usually actually accuse me of cutting people off. So wait. So your family was already in the business. How young are you when you're kind of learning? Because you just spat out a whole bunch of information that is you're obviously a pro now. You're just a mogul. But how young are you when you're kind of figuring this out? And how do you even know that's your passion? Usually people, or sometimes kids, go away from what their parents are doing. Yeah. It's like, are y'all doing that? Let me do this.
Yeah. I don't know. I was a really young kid. I was probably 5, 6 years old. I was so invested and so excited to be around that space. It was just, as a kid, it was just fun to me. It was just it felt like a theme park, like cameras and lights. And, it was just something that, excited me in a way that made me want to pursue, that industry. So I think at a really young age, I just appreciated the entire process of production, distribution, and on-screen talent. That it just all the different layers and components to it just made me interested. And so as I grew up and grew older, I was very interested in the post-production aspect and editing. And so I really locked in on the editing, and I became a really, really dope editor. And that's kind of how I got in the business. And I figured hey, look, if you know how to edit and shoot, that's pretty much the key when it comes to the production and, post-production process. You are that guy, behind the scenes. And so I became kind of this wunderkid, or this golden boy, or what have you, when it came to editing and filming and shooting. And so the older I got, obviously I would find the business aspect very intriguing. And so I just kind of learned all aspects of production, post-production, pre-production, online, distribution. And so once you learned it all, it was like, this is pretty incredible. And then, I would say over the last 10 plus years, the technology, is really the key. So once you understand technology and all of that, it's just, all of it connects and you're able to do some incredible things.
Did you ever work on any, like, maybe any notable project? Because you say you started off pretty much editing, right? Did you ever get, like, at least start connected in, like, the business of whether any type of show, get a chance to, like, edit those shows, or you were just kind of doing local stuff?
No. After high school, and I went to college. I went to college at a school called Full Sail in Florida.
Yeah.
I graduated there, moved to LA, started off as a production assistant on a show called Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Did that, I was a PA for about 2 years. From there, I ended up leaving the show, wanted to do my own thing. Long story short, at 21, I ended up getting a first look deal at BET to executive produce shows in-house there. The president at the time, her name was Laretha Jones. She had pretty much through a manager of mine, I don't know if you know a comedian by the name of Brandon T. Jackson, but Brandon and I grew up along with Daryl, who's over here, Daryl Farmer. We all kind of, they were in LA before me. So when I came out there, they kind of welcomed me. And Brandon specifically, I started doing some projects with him. He was really hot at the time. Like, he had a lot going on, and he's still doing his thing. And I'm proud of everything that he's doing. He's, he had really invested in me and gave me a lot of opportunities and kind of brought me in his world and made a lot of introductions. And so one of the introductions that he brought to me was a manager by the name of Mark Atkins, who was Sinbad's brother. Sinbad's brother had a lot of relationships, introduced me to the president of BT. We had a meeting that literal day. I'll never forget that meeting. I showed her my work. She just kept asking to look at it. And she said, I want to do a deal. And I said, okay. And I was with two of my partners at the time, my brother LJ and Jason Tolbert. And we sat in a room, and she said she wanted to do a deal. We got in the car. We got a call from BET Business Affairs like a couple hours later. And they said they're going to send us an offer. And we were like, we don't even know what that means, but that sounds great. So that was on a Friday. So we had a late meeting on Friday, right? Because basically we thought it was some bullshit. Yeah. Like, hey, who meets at 5:36 p.m. with the president? She's just trying to get us out of the way. And then it's on a Friday. So
fucking up happy hour at that point.
Right, happy hour. so she met with us, and she just called us. And then Monday they had a deal sent over. And BET sent over. That was the quickest I've ever heard of BET sending a deal out, was that Monday. And then we ended up locking in with BET. We were there for a few years and learned a lot. Executive produced quite a few pilot series, our own shows, and then I left BET, and then I recognized there were no like black full service production companies, and there were a lot of white-owned production companies.
What about Mona Scott?
So respectfully, I respect Mona and everything that she does, and I have a lot of love for her. However, Mona is a executive producer. So so when VH1 would do the deal, they did the deal with a production company that would facilitate. It wasn't hers. She was a part of it. And she was definitely involved and, had a lot. I'm sure her deal, I don't know her deal, so I can't speak to her deal. All I know is how it works. Basically, a network pays for a production company to facilitate. You're the production company of record. So that means that you have a infrastructure in place, employees in place, equipment and all sorts of things in place for them to be able to trust you with millions or tens of millions of dollars to deliver a series. From what I understand, there were a few production companies that I think one of them was Eastern Productions, and they were the actual production company. So Mona was kind of the face and maybe the creator or, EP that, obviously had a lot of say and made a lot of business decisions, I'm sure, with that production company, but they were the ones that the network probably did the deal with to facilitate the series. and deliver the show. So the budget would go to the actual production company, and they would pay a fee based upon how many episodes. So, I don't know, they could say, hey, look, we want to give you 500,000, 750,000 an episode, to deliver this show. And so that budget.
People always say that, like I remember, I forgot, someone was about to do a reality show, and they talked about not going with Mona's company. So I thought she had a production company.
It's more from when I met Mona, her production company was more, at the time when Love and Hip Hop was really popular. She was more of like the storefront in the face.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't back there, with all the nuts and bolts and the tools and the infrastructure, with all the editors, and all the employees facilitating. So she would partner with a third party company that would deliver the show. And that I was essentially that production. I was a production company. So I didn't, you can go either way. Either way is fine. I mean, look, good for her. She doesn't have that headache, that's a lot of work.
But she'll have in billions like you though.
Well, I own a network, so we're in two different.
That's what turns into a network eventually.
Well, yeah. So essentially,
you scale it to a network.
Exactly. So for me, it was pretty much like, at the time, Mona, like I said, and others like Mona, there was a few other black EPs, executive producers, but again, when you're a production company of record, that's a different situation. I wanted to sign up to be a production company. I recognize the difference of being an EP and the actual production company, the CEO of a production company. So I was a CEO of a production company. So I would go out, I would put together the pitch material decks, and I would invest in that first initial, project or whatever idea I had, and then I would present it to the networks. They would pick it up, and then they would have to do a deal with my production company. And we didn't have to get any other partner or person involved.
That's really ambitious, and I'm glad you told that story, because I felt like shit. Even my journey of being in the industry and then creating shows and this and third. What I believe they do is they hit you with the EP title, and once they hit you with the executive producer title, you're kind of like you. That's what they do for niggas. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just get a nigga executive, and pretty much they give you an extra fee, right? Yeah. But really, it's all produced by a whole different company who's essentially dealing with everything else, right?
Exactly. That's exactly how it works. I mean, a lot. I wouldn't say it like that, but I would say it.
I'm a little crass.
No, I mean, it's just different types of EPs. So, some people sign up to be EPs and give creative and business consultation, input, advice, feedback. And then there's others that actually facilitate it. And sometimes people don't want that, all of that, pressure and all of that, work to have to deliver a series. It's a very, you're responsible for overages. You're liable for any type of issues. The networks are all indemnified. So, being a production company is not easy. It's very stressful. It's a lot of work, and it's just, you may make money, you may not. It is what it is. But yes, you have the ability to hire people. You are responsible. You are that entity that the network is looking to deliver the project. So most networks aren't production companies. They hire third-party production companies to deliver. Sure. So for me, that was important to me to be one of the first and few black, full-service production companies. And it wasn't a lot. And I sold a few shows to NBC Universal.
What was
Network.
The first show?
The Preachers of L.A. That was the first show I sold.
Okay, you stay within the
but it was crazy. That show was loud. It was loud. It was on Oxygen. It was loud.
Preachers of LA.
Preachers of LA.
You had to beat on their ratchet, didn't you?
They were the pastors. I mean, part of it was part of our theme, so
or
to speak.
Sales pitch.
Not, I wouldn't say sales pitch. I would say part of the theme. No, part of the theme was we wanted to humanize these guys. And we would say, people put these guys on a pedestal that they can't live on. So we wanted to humanize them and show the real preacher, the lavish lifestyles. We wanted to show their family dynamics. We wanted to show what happens behind the scenes when they're not on the pulpit, all their struggles with their significant others, or or what have you. They addressed a lot of
Your
controversies.
pops gave you that idea.
You know what? No, me and a lady by the name of Holly Carter, we actually did it together, and she's a very prominent executive, and I like to call her a mogul in the Christian space and in the religious space. She works with everybody, and she's done her thing, and she's been able to take Christianity, Black Christianity, the certain projects mainstream. And I commend her for that. She's done her thing. She's worked with Mary, Kirk Franklin, all of these guys, whether that's managing them or, getting their projects off the ground on certain networks. So we produced the Preachers of LA franchise. We did a couple seasons of Preachers of LA. Then we franchised it to Atlanta and Detroit. And it was the highest rated series in network history at Oxygen Network, more so than even the Bad Girls Club. So it did incredibly well. And, after that, I sold the Westbrooks to BET. India Westbrook and her family, a show called...
Terrible show.
Hey, to each his own. That's your opinion.
Well, not the actual show. I know you're in the production. I'm just saying, you could have picked some better. Come on now. Like, there was a lot more intriguing people.
Yeah, listen, India had a story to tell. She had a lot going on at the time, her and her family.
She was lit, and
honestly, the thing is, what we saw the show as is we saw it as like the Black Kardashians, because all the girls were influencers.
Hell no, y'all should have grabbed.
I'm just telling you, that's
Amber Rose and Black China.
No, but they weren't. Amber and Rose. That was a different dynamic. A lot of networks at the time, so there were a lot of mandates that went out, right? So Bravo, MTV, BT, all these networks, VH1, they would send out mandates to agents. So they'll send these mandates and these emails to the agents saying, "Hey, we're looking for this show. We're looking for that show." So WME, CAA, ICM. All these different agencies would get these different mandates from the networks, and so they would send them off to the producers of the production companies and say, "Hey, create a show. They're looking for this."
What was the mandate?
We're looking for the Black Kardashians.
Oh shit!
So we're when they tell us exactly what they want, we go out and research and try to find it. And so we were very fortunate.
How involved are you in that decision? Like, because we know, so you've transitioned from this, I know how to edit, I know all the roles involved in production company. I now own a production company, but how and what's your role?
I'm extremely involved. I've been involved in everything.
Are you making these gut calls?
I'm probably the most hands-on, boots on the ground CEO you'll ever meet.
Talk that shit. You gotta talk that shit.
I am the most hands-on, boots on the ground CEO. I believe that it's important for CEOs to be reachable to some degree. I didn't want to be the guy with the feet up in the office, sitting down, telling people what to do. I wanted to be on the ground with them, boots on the ground. We have a great team. I'm not involved to a degree where I'm really micromanaging certain people. I definitely, have hired a fantastic team of folks, showrunners, EPs, producers, coordinators, production managers, camera ops, production, all sorts of people. So, I think they all have a certain level of respect for my creative input and feedback and direction that I give from time to time when it comes to like high level, thoughts and feedback. But, at the end of the day, if I have to get in there, me and my team, we get in there. Daryl Farmer, he sitting right there. We get in there. My team, Matt.
I thought I was your goon.
No, not my goon. He's not a goon. Daryl's one of the smartest people you'll ever meet.
No, you probably.
But yeah. So not to cut you off. So yeah, as a CEO, that's just for me. I just felt like that was important, and I think that helps with the growth, the success of the company. If you show real passion and you show real excitement and you're giving real creative feedback and input, that changes the trajectory of your company and where you want it to be. And I have big dreams. I have big goals. I've seen a lot of people before me. I appreciate a show that I did, one of the last shows that I sold before I launched Zeus. It was 2 shows. It was a show called Music Moguls. Wait,
who was on that?
Birdman.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Birdman. Yeah, that was my show that I sold. Me and Ray J. So Ray J and I partnered on that project.
I thought Ray J owned part of Zeus.
No, he's a great guy. He doesn't own a part of Zeus, but he was very instrumental with bringing certain projects to Zeus, and him and Princess. They did an incredible job on the projects that they brought to Zeus, and that they were involved in. And I love Ray J. He's a brother. I love Princess. She's a sister. I love both of them, the whole team.
How is that possible? Wait, hold on. So you have to give me a lot of education. So I'm very misinformed.
We're all over the place.
No. Well, the reason I'm asking, and I guess we're at the point of launching Zeus, right? The reason why I thought Ray J was part of it is I think once Ray J did his slew of reality shows, it was so different from like what Love and Hip Hop and them were doing. But also, I think we looked at Ray J to kind of almost be living a reality life, almost. Goddamn it! Yeah. And I thought he did something with Zeus, and I thought
he's done several projects.
Okay, so that's why. I thought
he's executive produced several projects. So our model is different. We give them equity in their shows. So we don't give them equity in the company, but their shows. So our content partners.
You give the
content partners, the folks that bring the shows to us. We structure our deals differently than traditional networks. So I feel like I've heard that before. Real talk. For me.
No. Well, I got some accountable.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's just simple for me. It's like I think that, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. Great, fantastic movie. I love their idea that they had to try to win a World Series, right? They were in the game. They were a professional team, right? And they just didn't have the budgets that the mainstream or the other baseball teams, the Yankees and some of the other places had. But at the end of the day, they came up with this cool philosophy, and they picked up a bunch of people that had all these dysfunctions that were undervalued. And ultimately, they won the most winning streaks in MLB history. They didn't win the World Series, but they came close. Made it to the playoffs, didn't. But just that philosophy, all the other guys started following that whole model. And I think with us, I feel like it's been a situation where a lot of traditional linear networks undervalue talent and people. And I wanted to change that. And I said, look, these guys pay these guys peanuts. There's no real incentive for them to stick around and be as involved. Like,
I heard about a $1,500 checks from Love and Hip Hop.
I don't know what they pay their talent.
You heard about that too.
But for us, we pay our talent great. They're all happy. They're making a lot of money. Their lives are changed. They're getting great exposure. It's amazing. But we wanted to change the norm, and that was important to me. When I looked at those deals, because I was part of those deals. When I sold my shows to these networks, the networks would limit certain things. They would say, hey, you can only pay these people X amount of money.
Really?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The network,
any traditional network, they have to approve the budget. So when you produce these line item budgets, you have a cast line item, right? And then you can break that down even further. So when you have that line item, they'll say, okay, look, we're only going to approve up to a certain amount for cast. We're not going to pay these people that much. Now, for us, it's not our money, it's the network's money. So they approve certain line items, in certain budgets based upon what they felt, they wanted to pay. And so I just was like, damn, like that's crazy. Like, hey, look, but some, people did it. People did it, and they wanted those opportunities. So, I just felt like I said, if I ever launch my own network, I'm definitely not doing the deals like this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to incentivize our talent. I want them to feel like, they're valued. I want them to have a long-term money flowing and coming in. And that was important to me.
That's actually dope. So now we're at you launching Zeus. I want to ask you a question because I know the answer for my part on why I'm sitting here. How much credit do you give the times changing, i.e. the internet, and striking while the iron's hot versus, hey, listen, we already were on the road to kind of do something of the sort and it was going to happen regardless? I'll tell you what I think, at least on my side. I wanted to always get on radio. Mm-hmm. And I remember this is like 2014, 2015, I'm like, man, one day I want to get on a show and I want to be competing with the Breakfast Club. I want to be a local radio show in New York. It's going to be big though. Hopefully I get syndicated.
Right.
And the internet was just hitting, and I was gaining this audience online, and then I feel like a switch just got flipped, and it was just like, hey, you're reaching more people online than if you could actually be sitting at a radio station. And also you're trying to get to some place that's becoming less and lesser effective. Start building your castle that's in a place that's growing, not the place that's reducing. How did technology, and well, not a technology, but the internet and times changed, and most of it affected the launch process. You tell me.
Yeah, sure. Technology definitely played a huge role. I think that, I definitely saw things changing. I was so enamored by Netflix. Even when I was in college, I'll never forget. When I was in college, I saw this company called Netflix, and they had they had this model, and they had the ability to deliver DVDs to certain folks, and I just thought that was cool. I was like, damn, like they're delivering DVDs. You no longer have to walk inside a Blockbuster. I think that's cool. And so obviously they've evolved over time, and I studied them, and they played a huge role as far as like the launch of Zeus and me getting into this space. But their whole bottom line philosophy was, this is about convenience, choice, and control. And I love that, right? It's convenient for the customers. It puts them in control at their choice. So they stuck with that model and that philosophy, and they just kept evolving with technology and times. And so they just said, look, how do we continue to get the customers content as convenient as we can, at their choice and at their control. And that was it. And at first it was DVDs. Then it evolved to them being able to watch on computers. Then it evolved to them being able to watch on smart TVs. Then it evolved to them being on all these smart top boxes. Then it evolved to, all sorts of phones and all sorts of devices worldwide. And so now they're at hundreds of millions of subscribers that pay them. Now they're able to create original programming at a high level, high quality, and I love their evolution and what they created. And now everybody's kind of following that model. I think for me with Zeus, it was like, all right, I'm not going to be able to compete with Netflix, okay? Like, that's not going to happen. So I had to kind of like get to a place in my head, even though I wanted to kind of do that. I want to do the Black Netflix. I just like, I'm not going to do the Black Netflix. It's not going to work. So how do I create something more niche? Because I think if I can target a specific audience, this could be a very lucrative business. And that's what we did. And we said, look, let's target a specific niche audience. Okay. Black people. There's 47 million black people in the United States. Okay. X amount of women at the age of X amount. Men at the age of X amount. So you
were that analytical.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Cause men, I was like, all right, do I want to cater to men? Do I want to cater to women? Do I want to go young? Do I want to go kind of, mid-age, older, anything like that? And it just didn't really make sense. So for me, it was just like, I think that black women from the age of 18 to 34 is our sweet spot. 18 to 49 is great. So that was kind of like our target audience that we wanted to pursue. And so,
not to cut you off, but like I guess I know somebody said it because I thought the same. Okay, just going back to you launching, like, how do you even be like, let's create an app? Like, where does that come from?
Yeah,
I gotta ask for funding. Where does funding come from?
No, listen. So here's the thing.
We want to get everything.
So I had a production company. I saved all my money. I saved a lot of money. Right,
how much?
Selling those shows. How much?
Million?
Way more than that. But I'm saying, our budgets, we would just so you understand, production, like we would get probably anywhere from, I would say, $3 to $5 million per series.
Oh shit!
So if I sold a show to NBC or Oxygen or BET, they pay anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 an episode. So if they picked up 8 or 10 or 12 episodes, that would be the budget. And so I would make my money. I would make my money off of margins. you know, we would pad the budgets a little bit. And I know people probably hate that I'm saying this because I don't care anymore because I'm not in that space. Or
well, somebody might do it to you.
well, we don't do it. I'm telling you,
everything is in house.
Everything's in house.
Fuck,
so,
damn.
so,
God damn.
He said, God damn.
No, you fucking up the game for everybody else when they can't do it.
No, it's not. But I think the networks understand it. I mean, they know it. You know, they understand that production companies have to make money. So yeah, like if my rent, I would put my, you know, look, I don't care. Again, I don't know about you saying this. What you think, man?
Nah, come on, man. This is off the record.
So I always say this: we would definitely pad the budget.
Yeah.
We would definitely pad the budget. Okay, in certain areas in the budget that we felt we could make margins or profits off of, or profits on. So, you know, whether that's office space rentals, equipment rentals, etc., we would pad it and, you know, we make money off of it. And that's how but it didn't really work like that because the profits that you project, sometimes you go over budget and you take that profit and you got to pay for it. So sometimes we walked away with no money. So sometimes we walked away with some money. So it just really depends. And then there would be a EP fee, a production company fee that the networks would agree on. All right, we're going to give the production company X percentage of the budget, and then that would be the fee. And then all of our additional money would be based upon margins, based upon the line item budget that we submit and that they would approve. And then we would, you know, take away whatever we didn't spend on those margins. So that was it. So if my office rent is $50,000 and I put in there $100,000, that may be a $50,000 a month profit. That's just an example.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that's just how production companies work. You know, now the networks aren't getting that, you know, like granular and that involved in the budgets. They just like, look, here's your
auditing everything.
They like, look, here's your $5 million
lease, my nigga.
Right? They don't do that. That's not their business. They're not about the production company's not going to show the network the lease, and that's not really. They're not going to do that. They've never done that with us. So I'm assuming they never do that with
well, that's why they're indemnified. So like, if someone didn't get paid, the onus is not even on them to be like, oh well, we have this receipt.
They're just like, at the bottom line, the network is like, look, we're spending $3 to $5 million on the production. We still got to pay for marketing. We got to pay for this. Yeah. So they had their own little in-house budgets of what they would spend on a specific show. So I get it, but I say all that to say that, you know, that's how I made money. And sometimes I was profitable, sometimes I wasn't. So I did save a lot of my money through my production company. And so, but I don't really do that now. You know, and if I did do it, you know, it would be pretty straightforward. That's just not really my business. So, but I will say this, you know, I made a lot of smart business decisions with my production company, and that allowed me the ability to build my own platform and prototype.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Like again, you need an app made. All right, great. You got some money, right? Listen, I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, we built.
So who do you go to? Be like, yo, we need an app or like a network platform built.
There's all sorts of technologists out there that exist. You got to do your research and you got to find those people.
You went to them or they came to you?
So it was a little bit of both. You know, I get,
but no partners.
No. At the time, so I launched Zeus. So I created the network, right? Yeah. It was me by myself. And so I spent my own money. I wanted to aggregate some folks and say, hey, look, I'll give equity to X, Y, and Z. You know, they got to put some money in. They got to do X, Y, and Z. You know, they had certain obligations. And so, you know, I was willing to do that. And so but for me, I launched, you know, the network with my own money. It was my idea. And, you know, I had this passion to launching a subscription video on demand platform. And so I ended up doing that. And I found, like I said, some amazing technologists to help build the platform, tech companies that we partner with that were able to accomplish the vision that we had for it. So, you know, you just got to do your research. I mean, there's tons of you know, platforms out there that exist that tons of platforms out there that exist or technology companies out there that exist that, I mean, they could build apps, that could build all sorts of things.
Wait, but you did have partners. So you did have partners. What happened to them niggas?
You tell me.
Man, I'll Google this shit. Stop it, man. No, I remember seeing them.
You tell me.
So you bought them out, right?
You tell me what happened to these guys.
No, bro. Zeus Network. No, there was other people, and I remember some noticeable name because I was fascinated by you because I'm like, this guy seems like the brains of the operation, but what happened to everybody else? Let me figure.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to see.
Oh, King Bach. Yeah. So King Bach, Amanda Cerny. That's what I was like. That's when they were lit.
Yeah.
They washed now though. It's all good.
Listen.
You're the only one popping.
You're the only one. Appreciate it. Listen.
How'd you buy them out?
So my thing was when I launched the network, I created Zeus. I ended up investing my own capital. They didn't put in any money. They didn't do anything. But I think for me, at the time, you know, like you said, they were pretty lit. I thought they would bring some value, bring some money to the table, and do their thing, and they did.
They were supposed to bring influence. So
they were supposed to bring money and influence. That's what they were supposed to bring.
All right. Do you know the deal with
Prime,
I'm
saying,
right?
no, I'm just telling you. Okay. So that's, you know, that was why, you know, I ended up, to your point, you know, locking them in as partners. You know, I wanted people that could bring in, you know, some, you know, capital and also influence. And that's what, you know, that's why I had partnered with them at the time. So for me, I had invested a lot in not only the Zeus platform, but also a lot of shows. It wasn't just, you know, them, but it was all sorts of programming. We did a lot of short form content. We did a lot of things to really launch the network. But I you know, look, for me, I'm just the type of guy that's just like, look, I got to keep it going. You know, I'm like, this is my vision. This is my baby. This is something that I'm passionate about. And I got to figure out how to make this work. And so when we first launched the network, it didn't really have a lot of impact. And so I had to figure out ways to, you know, turn things around. And
y'all weren't targeting that demo that you're telling me though. So like,
no, we weren't. We were just kind of, at the time we were like open. It was like, we were just like, look, let's figure it out. Like it was a lot of people trying to figure it out at the time. Quibi was trying to figure it out. And we had launched before, but we had launched before Quibi. We had launched before a lot of people. And so a lot of the networks that even are out now, Disney Plus wasn't out, Hulu wasn't, I mean, not Hulu, Peacock, none of these platforms were out. Quibi. And so when we launched, we learned a lot, like, because it wasn't as easy as people thought. Like, people think that, all right, cool, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna look like that, but it doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter what star you have, like, none of that stuff matters. It's really about creating hit shows. It's really, I mean, we can get to that in a minute, but like what works and why it works. But we discovered a lot of things when we first launched the network. And so for me as CEO, as founder, as the founder and the CEO, it was important for me to figure out, you know, how to make this network work, you know, and that was the only thing that was on my mind. Like, how do I make this network actually work? You know,
and that's why. So how do they get out of there? Like, just explain the business part of that, because obviously,
how do they get?
Well, they're not owners anymore, or
Well, I can't speak to
what about
their business dealings with Zeus, right? I just can't speak
you got a little
to
NDA.
Right.
I see it.
But you know, like I said, you know, I mean, whatever is out there. But you know, yeah, I think for me right now, my focus is just growing and scaling the company. And,
you own 100%.
I am the founder, the CEO, and the majority owner in the company.
Majority meaning
I'm
75?
I'm the manager. I make all the decisions in the company. I'm the founder. I'm the CEO.
Still a private company, right?
It's private. It's private and it's independent.
Any debt to investors?
No, I am the sole investor, or I pretty much invested the initial cash contribution to the company to get it off the ground. You know,
never went through like series of like investment?
Never went through any type of financing. Wow. Never looked for any major investor. Nothing. That was never really like my thing. Before we launched Zeus, before Zeus launched, I had to invest a lot of money. We launched with like 40 shows. So I had to pay for everything. Technology, the marketing, the shows, everything you could think of, I paid for. The employees, the office space, everything. So, I paid for everything.
I know you're trying to be tight on the numbers, but to try to at least give the viewer, the listener, like just even an imaginable, like even number.
What do you think?
If you're launching 40 shows,
well, that was the very beginning.
Okay,
at one time. But
40 shows
I thought you meant like right now. I thought you meant like right.
No. I got my predictions of right now. But I'm talking about then. Shit, I'm 10, 15 million dollars at least.
10, 15 million subscribers?
No, 10, 15 million dollars just to launch.
Oh, you're talking about how much did it cost?
What capital you needed to have to even start up, sustain until you guys start hitting 10, 15 million. That's what I'm thinking. Close?
I don't know.
You can tell me if I'm just way off. If I'm close, you can just keep smiling. Okay. All right, cool. So you eventually launch, you fucking trim the fat, get rid of the dead weight. No disrespect to King Bach. Get him out of here. Now
this is him talking. I didn't say nothing.
Holler at me, nigga. He ain't gonna say nothing. He doing comedy now. I seen him at Laugh Factory.
Not Laugh Factory.
He is. He has Laugh Factory. He's doing his thing.
All right.
Oh, you clowning him?
No, this is you. I'm listening to you.
You clowning him because he had Laugh Factory?
I'm saying, listen.
He got like 10 million followers, right?
Does he?
Nah, he be having like 800 likes, so it should be crazy. Nah,
How many followers? Do you think they have real followers? You think that's real?
They did, but it was a moment.
Do you think it was real? You think it's real? You don't think that was stuff?
I'm glad you said that. Now we're going to fucking talk. Yeah, there we go.
Now we're going dark.
There we going to fucking talk. So Amanda Cerny, it was all real, but it was a Vine era. There were never real fans that would ever go towards content that's not presented in the form. And you probably noticed now, you wouldn't probably base a show around a guy who blew up. He might have 6 million followers immediately on TikTok, but will he actually download the Zeus app, and will he actually fucking put his mama's credit card or his credit card down? Will he actually go then subscribe, pay, what do you guys charge a month?
$6 a month.
$6 a month? No. But if you watch that person on TikTok, he'll do it all day. That's what King Bach and them was. That was the Vine era, where people were kind of watching them for really quick content, but that audience were fickle and was just that virality. It looks fake now because their followers are dead. You get what I mean? It was just an era in time. Do you think it was real? Well,
no. I'm just kidding. I don't think it was real.
Well, you're looking at it from a different lens.
No, I don't think it was real.
You're looking at it from a lens that says, if you have,
I'm one of the few folks that have the real data as far as their conversion rate numbers.
Yeah, but is that fair though?
It is fair. I have their real data.
Yeah, but
I have the real data.
Fake. Doesn't mean it's fake though.
No. If you have real data, that's the question that everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wants to know. With any influencer, it doesn't matter who it is, right? Can these people convert into paying customers with anything?
Conversion number is different than what you see online.
No, I know, but Beyonce can convert. We know that. We know certain stars can really convert. Right? You know that.
Yes.
You know if you had Beyonce on here right now.
No, of course.
Or if you had any other, if you had Drake, if you had anybody on here, even Krishan. I'm just telling you, there's certain people. I'm telling you, there's certain people that. I know she can convert. No. So I'm just telling you, I know that. So I'm just saying. Wait. I'm just telling you.
Let's have a conversation about that.
Sure, let's go.
Right? And the only reason I'm having a conversation, I'm gonna be very clear too, is because I've been caught up in that recently. Right? If I go, so I stream live all the time. Shit, I talk about that show live a lot, and I stream on a bunch of different platforms. There's usually concurrently when I'm live, 20,000 people, right? So I stream on Rumble, I have a contract with them. Stream on Twitch, YouTube. It's always like cumulatively at a time, 20,000 people, right? Now, imagine a company, like for example, a live company that says, I want to see the conversion ratio from who watches them live to who will come to a show. It's very different. Like for example, Krishan Rock, I'm pretty sure she gets millions, billions of views, right? She definitely probably will get people to subscribe to Zeus, but let's think about the conversion ratio in terms of how many people she'll get to tune in to her either Instagram live, then subscribe to Zeus. Then if she did a live event in New York City and was selling tickets, how many tickets do you think she would sell?
No, listen.
That's conversion
I think
ratio.
we're saying the same thing.
Okay,
cool. I think I didn't put a number to it. I just said
it would be way
they
less.
can convert. I'm just saying they can convert. I didn't say they can
convert.
I didn't say they can convert their entire audience. I just said that, every brand, every company, every organization wants to know how much certain influencers can convert. And I'm just saying
those were vastly overflated. You're right.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. So all I'm saying is every brand, every company wants to know how much certain influencers can convert. Okay. And so there are certain people who can convert a decent amount of their fans to pay for certain things, whether that's, their show in-person live shows, whether you're subscribing, OnlyFans, whatever, and then there's people that can't,
So you learned a valuable lesson, especially with those individuals.
Well, it was a lot of them. It was a lot. It wasn't just the three of those guys. It was a lot of the influencers at the time. And so, but it wasn't just, it was a lot of different variables, but that was a big piece for sure.
So where do you go from there, right? So if you're like, damn, so this new era of people are getting really lit quickly and they have millions of followers, but they can't fucking convert to the business that I need them to convert with. How do you proceed?
I think that, well, first of all, like I said, there's a lot of con artists out here. A lot of con artists, these influencers, be careful.
Really?
Be careful.
Well, you're in LA, so you probably see them a lot.
So it's a lot of con artists out here that buy followers. They this is their scam. This is their business. Their business is to scam people, right? To get people like me to do certain things or whatever based upon what they tell you and what you see. But you really won't know until you kind of get into it. And I learned a valuable lesson getting into it, working with certain people. So for me, I had to, like I said, I had to change the entire strategy with Zeus when we first launched. And I went back to what I know and what works best for me. And that was unscripted reality programming. And I said, I'm going to go back to that. That's what I was selling to major networks. I had some hit shows. I can't deal with these influencers.
This ain't doing shit. The numbers ain't numbering.
So I just ended up, changing the whole strategy. And that's when we started to really see a significant, change, and we saw significant growth.
What was the first thing?
B. Simone, blame it on Quay. Even though he was an influencer, at the time he was transitioning to be a little bit more traditional. He was working with Tyler Perry. He was doing all sorts of things. So his show did actually pretty well for us. And then B. Simone did really well. And then what really took off for us was Black China's The Real Black China. And that was like our first real like really major successful show was The Real Black China.
Oh, wow.
And that show went crazy.
Black China is also like, by the way, I've seen her recently. Like, I kind of root for her because
I love China. She's a sweetheart.
I trash her sometimes.
No, she's a sweetheart.
But these days, watching her, like,
I'm proud of her, by the way.
Oh, I'm super proud of her too. Just watching her going through a transformation, I'm like completely in support. So, okay, now I know you're gonna be tight with the numbers, but I'm gonna get to it. Okay, explain to me what you mean. Okay, you're seeing a breakout hit.
Yeah.
Explain to me just percentage.
We got a lot. We ended up, well, it was a lot of things that happened when we launched China. We got a lot of, like, just the marketing alone. We ended up, we got a lot of traditional trade and consumer publications to pick up the show. So, to pick up, the announcement. They picked up certain clips and trailers. So we ended up getting a lot of earned media working with her. And at the same time,
earned media. I know
earned media, we just, people with certain consumer publications, trade outlets would pick up certain things for free. So that would mean like, that would mean Hollywood. That would mean Hollywood Reporter, or Deadline, or Variety, or E-News, and all these people would pick up a TMZ. They would. Oh, Zeus announced Black China. They pick up a lot of different types of earned media that we wouldn't necessarily pay for, but it would be marketing, right? That was like, oh wow, earned media. We earned, like, it was free. It wasn't free, but it was, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was free. But,
of course.
They would pick it up. So that helped. But also we had some really loud, provocative, viral moments. And I think that's what really got folks, like, because China hadn't been on television since the spinoff of her Rob and China show, and they were in a big lawsuit. And so we were the first ones. I met with her. She said she wanted to do this show. I said, let's do it. Let's rock out. We greenlit the series, and we said we want to do a follow doc. We're gonna make it real, raw, authentic, uncensored. And she was like, I love that. That's what I'm all about. And so we showed everything. And so the relationship with her mom, she talked about, all sorts of things, struggles and, relationships with some of her the father of her children, and friends, things that she struggled with. I mean, she was pretty much completely authentic.
Did you regret that?
No, I don't think so. I think we have a great relationship. It was definitely a season that, in time where she just was like, look, I want to show this. I want to show the real Black China. And it was great. And so it went through the roof. And we had a ton of subscribers. We had a ton of viewership.
How much percentage, just increase in percentage from whatever your subscription rate was? Like, say if you had 2,
it was hundreds or thousands of percent increase. I don't even know. I mean, from where we were at lunch, it was crazy. It was. I don't remember the actual number, but
definitely at least doubled. Like what?
Oh, it was. Yeah. It was 100%. It scaled us, quite a bit. And we've always been transparent and candid about the numbers and how many subscribers that our content partners would bring for that particular show. So she was happy with the numbers. We were happy with the numbers, and it did well. And so,
did you have that same model back then in terms of giving equity per content?
Yes.
With the creators? Okay, cool.
So we have, that's kind of our secret sauce is our deal structure that I can't really get into, but it's our thing. Like I said, our goal was to always incentivize our content partners. I don't like to call them talent, I call them content partners. They work behind the scenes, they work in front of the screens. Natalie does a fantastic job. Jocelyn, Blueface and Krishan, they understand the model.
All you need is Natalie, Jocelyn, and Krishan. The rest could go. No, well, obviously they're useful, but I'm saying those are like the stars of the league. That's the LeBron, the LeBron, Giannis, and
they're definitely superstars.
LeBron, Giannis and stuff. Okay, wait. I do want to ask this because you vaguely mentioned it before, and this is because I know a lot of people who might do business, they run into this. I've ran into this before, where someone says either like, "Hey, listen, your own equity." I'll be upfront and being honest. So when Joe Budden left Everyday Struggle, I was on the show. Joe wanted equity in the show because he was one of the main even contributors and creators of the show, but he never got it. They just wanted to give like some standard bumps, and he wasn't with it. He left. After he left, I was like the other person on the debate. It was a debate show. It was me and him. I actually got a percentage. So I forgot what the percentage was, but I had a percentage of the show, which was going to be on the back end. Now, here's the thing, and this is why I ask you, because it sounds really great. And for any creators watching me, it sounds amazing to say, yo, yeah, I get 15% of this, or yeah, I'm a profit participant, this and third. But he who controls the numbers controls where the money goes. And you've talked already about before working on a production company and say, yeah, I pad the numbers, or you could. When you're working at a company or like, for example, a complex, somehow, even though you already sold the shows, there would be no fucking profit. Like, where the profit at? So,
right.
Again, transparency becomes a thing. Like, for example, I have zero idea how much just raw subscribers you have. How much do the creators get to see what their show actually brought to the network and get to see what maybe they're even owed? Because again, I think the big thing with Zeus, we know it's huge, but we have zero idea where the subscription numbers are. You get what I mean?
Yeah. What's the question?
Well, the question is there, which by the way, just like Netflix saying, be like, yo, hey, to the production company who made what's that show where they were killing people? Squeaking. Then I'll be like, hey, this is how many subscribers you gave us, and this is what we had before.
Yeah. Our business model, shares that information. They have the numbers.
They have the numbers of how many subscribers you guys have.
Yeah. Or how many subscribers their show brought. They don't have the entire number of how many subscribers we have.
So we have
subscribers dated back 5 years ago. So, I mean, there's people who signed up who are still customers. Why would we share that information that's not really relevant to them unless we go public? You know, like we are very transparent when it comes to what their show, you know, ends up, you know, producing when it comes to the numbers.
Okay.
So why would I share it? Like, so hear me out. So I got multiple content partners.
Yeah.
I have Jocelyn, three that you just mentioned. I got Jocelyn, Natalie, and Krishan. Each of them have their own shows.
Yep.
Why would I share with Natalie what Jocelyn makes, and why would Jocelyn feel comfortable with me sharing what Natalie makes? It just wouldn't make sense.
No, it wouldn't
so I give them their numbers of what their show does, and you know they get a check for that show, and they're very happy with what they make. And we're very transparent. We're very candid. We talk through this. They know how much. They know how I'm extremely candid and transparent. We say like part of the unique thing about Zeus is when we meet with our content partners. Like if I greenlit a show with you, if you say, "Hey, Lem, I want to do this show. I want to take my podcast to Zeus," I'd be like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." You're gonna sit down and ask me a series of questions about how it all works, how much money you're gonna, you know, how much money you're going to be making, projected incomes and revenues, this, that, and the other. And I'm going to be transparent and candid with you. I'm going to say, hey, look, this is how much we charge. We charge $6 a month. This is how much we got to pay in certain expenses when it comes to just technology alone. This is how much we got to pay for the production. This is how much we got to pay here and there. We're taking a lot of risk. Okay. There is some upside, but we're taking the risk. So either way, whether we make money or not from the shows, I'm comfortable, right, paying you what I'm obligated to pay you based upon what we're talking about. I'm cool. So why would I need to get into the minutiae nuances of literally every expense? That's not their business. Just like that's like them. I don't get into their business like that. So I'm as transparent as I can be, and I'm as honest as I can be. I have character. I have integrity. I don't do shady business. I don't do dirty business. You know, we sponsor a lot of people's events, music videos. We're very fortunate. We're very blessed. We are a profitable company. We're doing very, very well. Zeus is doing incredibly well. So
I asked you that question, not really to even put a hint in the air that I think you're doing dishonest business. I think you're doing great business. I'm only questioning the business structure because I see it a lot.
Put it like this.
Like for example, I'll say this, right?
Go ahead.
So answer directly what you say, right? Okay.
I got a question for you. And after you ask me this question.
Okay, great. So let's go back to linear, right? Or no, let's stay with Netflix, right? Let's do Netflix.
I got something better for you. Hold on. Skip Netflix. Let's start with Spotify. I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you ask Spotify? How much information do they share? You have a show. Hold on, hear me out. I'm gonna ask you the questions now, right? And I'm gonna show you the difference with me and Spotify. Okay, they're a subscription. They're a subscription. They're a subscription on demand platform.
Yes.
Right. They publicly announce how many subscribers they have. You can go on Google right now and see how many subscribers Spotify has. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
That's the difference.
So hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. No. It's the difference. No. Here's the difference. They tell you how many overall, they don't tell you how many active monthly subscribers they have. Churn is real. People cancel every month. They can say, hey, we got 110 million. Okay, I just got off the phone with NBC. I literally just, right before I got here,
really?
I just got off the phone with NBC, their streaming department. They were looking to license some content. And I had asked them.
They want to license some of your content?
Yeah, we get folks inquiring about that all the time.
What's that rate?
I don't know. We were getting into that, but they didn't have a rate. So, but the bottom line is, you know, man, I was saying, what was I saying? The NBC. What was the point I was trying to make?
Well, so you mentioned Spotify.
So I was saying Spotify, right? Okay. Oh, I was saying we get folks inquiring about that, licensing our content all the time, right? So all I was saying was with Spotify specifically. You have a show on Spotify. Mm-hmm. This show will air on Spotify.
Yes.
Okay. Your deal, right? If you go back and look at your contract, I want you to look at your contract. See how much information they provide. I would love to know. I want them to tell you how much. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Listen,
we're on the same side here.
Oh, I know we are, but I'm telling you the difference. I'm telling you the difference.
I'm not here defending the big green.
I'm not telling you. You hear? I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm just listening.
Either.
No. Listen. He asking me questions, and I'm answering. I'm not taking it defensive at all. I'm telling you, I'm way more transparent than any of these people. They can announce.
Subscribers. They tell us total subscribers.
They don't. Ask them how much value you're bringing. That's the difference.
That's always
so hold on, wait.
correct.
So right.
Okay.
Hold on, wait.
That's
so,
where
right.
we're gonna agree.
So that's what I'm telling you. Listen. I'm telling you that's what I communicate to all of our content partners, that they're valuable. Here's how many subscribers you bought. I'm happy. Thank you. Here's how much you're getting on a monthly basis. I'm giving you a different deal structure. I pay these people every month. They don't. What do you like? Our deal structures are completely different than how traditional is. Traditional pays you a certain fee per episode, whatever, and then that's it. And then you're just talent to them. You're just a show, and you're dime a dozen. You're talent. That's how they listen.
I feel bad because it feels like I'm attacking him, even though you're the most progressive.
I'm not.
Look,
I'm
you're
not
the most progressive.
Listen,
and
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. No. I'm not taking it.
As a content creator, I'm
not
just
taking
asking
it
about the space in general.
I'm not taking it.
Definitely
I'm not taking
You're
it.
the most progressive.
Listen,
100%.
I'm not taking it like you're attacking me. I have a heart for you. I'm not saying I feel bad for you. All I'm saying is you had to find a home for your show to live, right? You chose Spotify.
Yeah.
You guys worked out a deal. That deal structure is pretty confidential. They're very private with the information that they share with you. Yeah. I got a call, and I'm gonna be honest, like we had a call with Issa Rae, and she has a great relationship with HBO. She says she loves the relationship with HBO, but they don't share. She said she had a great relationship. I'm telling you.
No, I'm saying they're in sharing.
No, I'm telling you. I asked her. She said, they don't share that information. They don't share how much value she brings, which I think. Listen, this is what I'm trying to say.
No,
right? Hear what I'm trying to say. We have a strike going on right now. Yeah. Right? We have a strike going on.
How does that affect your business?
It doesn't, because we're honest. And we're transparent and we're candid and we give great deals. So I'm saying, and people are coming our way. We have people flocking to Zeus right now because they're tired of working with those people, right? So at the end of the day, I can only share so much information. I mean, I'm not gonna. Hey guys, I have X amount. Like I'm not gonna do. So I'm just. You're asking me these questions. I'm just saying I'm gonna be as transparent and candid as I can. I'm trying to operate completely opposite. That's why Zeus is working. We're saying we don't want to operate the way they operate. We want to operate with honesty, with transparency. We want to educate you on how the business works. We want to educate you on the deal structures. We want you to understand, right? Natalie loves me. Jocelyn loves me. It's crazy people think they are. They appreciate the relationship with me.
Well, because you made them like probably eight-figure earners.
Listen, not only that, I've educated them. They walked away with priceless education and information. It's not just about a check. The network, Spotify, if you could sit down with the CEO of Spotify right now, I'm sure that would be more valuable than you having a show with them, because if you had to ask him you have a show on Spotify and you probably haven't even met the CEO. Right. Not. And he probably ain't gonna sit down on your show. He definitely ain't gonna sit down on your show. So I'm saying, look, you came to Zeus, I'll sit down on your show. I'll talk to you like I'm talking to you now.
Hey, by the way,
so I'm just being honest.
No.
So I'm just telling. So
this is why I'm giving you a lot of credit.
Thank you.
I guess the only question I was just asking you a philosophical business question, right? Which is, I think you're trying to do more. You're definitely doing more than with Spotify. HBO,
I'm just saying I'm doing a lot more than any traditional.
In reality, just thinking on a network level, that's why I was using Netflix. If I'm Squid Games, even if they said, hey, you brought us this amount of new subscribers, that's not even indicative of our worth, though, because my worth is your current subscribers. We're giving them content that they didn't unsubscribe, that you had before. So even if you had them for 8 years, our new content is helping them still pay that. They probably charging $20 a month now on Netflix. So again, it's never the right number, but at least you try to give a number. So I'll give you that.
Not only did I give them a number, like I said, I can't give you the specific details, but that's what makes us special. That's our secret sauce, our deal structures, how we structure our deals. We don't just pay them a talent fee. We give them real money. We bring real value. So at the end of the day, their lives are changed. It's just what it is.
Do they get analytics per their show?
Analytics. They get if they request
streams.
If they request that information, we can provide that information. If they want to see
Netflix
whatever,
wouldn't do that. I'll be honest.
Of course they wouldn't do that. They don't do. First of all, the analytics are part of what we pay them is based upon their analytics, so they can do the math. Okay, I'm making X amount a month, so from Zeus on top of what I've already made from a talent fee standpoint, I'm doing very well for myself, and that reflects the amount of subscribers that I brought. So now if we need to get kind of detailed with it, we would, but our secret sauce is that. So I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I'm not going to get into all the ingredients and how we do this and that. I'll give you kind of like broad, ideas of kind of how we structure our deals. But at the end of the day, the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to operate in a way that's transparent, that's candid, that's honest, that brings real value to our content partners and the folks that are sitting down doing what you're doing right now, working really hard to bring value to this company, right? This interview, we don't know how it's going to do. It could do well. We can get promoted. We can do all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, they may be the ultimate ones that may benefit from it. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that I get it, and I just want us to be a lot smarter. I want us to understand how this stuff really works. And part of working with Zeus is not just how much we pay, how much we make, it's educating people. It's employing people. I can't tell you how many black people work behind the scenes. We have hundreds of employees, maybe even thousands. I don't know. When you add up all the shows and how many people work in production, behind the scenes, post, it's a lot of people. So at the end of the day, we're not only employing people, we're paying people fair rates. You have a strike going on right now, which is what I was telling you. This is what people are fighting for. They're literally holding signs up, fighting for what they believe, fighting what they believe is right, because they know that these companies are making like crazy money and they're controlling everything. And now, AI and all this stuff. But at the end, they're like, look, we're valuable. We're not idiots. We're not just little pawns that you could just, so at the end of the day, I think it's important. And I think the smarter we get, especially as black people, the more we understand the business, the better we can like handle our deals, the more we can feel incentivized to want to promote our projects and do what we do. And that's why you see a lot of promotion with our content partners. That's why you see a lot of promotion with our talent, outside of even the content partners, even our other talent, like our co-stars. They understand we're reachable. We're very smart, young individual black men, but we educate people on how this works. We're telling them. We're like sitting down, educating them, giving them priceless information. And so for me, that is something that I'm humbled to do. I take pride in. I'm like, I love educating people on this.
Natalie said something which I think is kind of echoing what you're saying, and maybe something that you probably passed on to her. One time she was randomly on live. I don't even know why I was on her live. You know what I mean? I was probably in there like just trying to scout. But anyway. Yeah. No, but so I'm in her live and she said something really dope. I guess like people were upset, and we're going to get to like auditions and stuff before. But she said something really dope. She said what she didn't like about the old model of what reality TV was is just that it treated creators as disposable objects. And it would never build you to the point where you were your own brand and try to give you those real checks. And especially for her show, on your network, she wants to do that. She wants to have these people who are just bigger than the show.
Zeus has 10x everybody's lives. I'm gonna use my boy Daryl's terms. We've 10x their lives. We've been a huge accelerant to every business that they're launching. We're not working with talent. We're working with entrepreneurs.
Have you ever?
And so for me, huh?
Did you?
We don't. No, we don't do 360. Nope. No, we don't do 360.
Exactly. I've made a lot of stars. I'm wondering if
no, we don't. But that's the thing. It's like if they want to, it's the opposite. We're not doing what the labels are doing. We're not doing what the television networks are doing. We're operating different. We operate in good faith. We do a lot. We operate in transparency. If they want to work with us, if they see the value in it, cool, work with us. We're not about to run. Look, there's stars. There's a ton of people that would love to work with Zeus. You know what I mean? And so we want to keep that relationship going. And I think the ones that see real value in what we bring and, and they appreciate, how we operate, there's a long-term relationship there. But like I said, we've been an accelerant to their lives. We've 10x'd everything that they have going on. Like both. We've been an accelerant. Natalie can now launch Batty Blunts. She can,
you own no,
I don't have to. I'm proud of her. I don't know. I don't own.
Must be hitting, dog.
No, I don't. Listen, it's not only that. I have examples put it like this. Jocelyn, Stunner Girl did one season of Baddies. She had 100 and some thousand followers. She's at 1.2 now. Nobody was listening to her songs before she came to Zeus. Now she came to Zeus. They're all listening to her songs. Same thing with Krishan. Vibe was out. It's a Vibe. That was out a year before.
Trash.
Listen, but That
But her
song,
brand is big now,
listen, that
so the song
song
is
was
lit.
out a year prior to her working with Zeus. When she came to Zeus, everybody knew the lyrics. Everybody sang the song. People came out. People come out. They love her. Now I'm not taking total responsibility
Clearly.
or full responsibility. I'm not saying like, hey, we're responsible for the success of this. No, I'm saying that we were I think a major part in being an accelerant and helping them, expand their brand and all the other aspects outside of the show that they want to pursue. And I'm saying that that's what we've been able to do. And so Natalie has a deal with Fashion Nova. She's got her Baddie Blunts going. We're not a part of her Fashion Nova deal. We're not a part of Baddie Blunts. We're not a part of this and that.
That's actually dope.
Yeah, Jocelyn, same thing. She has a lot of other companies going on. Jocelyn, listen, people weren't listening to Jocelyn's music
Trust me,
when we launched Jocelyn's Cabaret.
It's playing every time.
Now everybody do it like it's your B-Day. Welcome to Vegas, baby. Nobody was singing these songs. So it just shows you, like we're doing something really special, and we're not being greedy. We're not being greedy. We're not trying to control.
Y'all not being greedy because y'all must be good elsewhere. So that's what I'm trying to get to the meat and potatoes.
Sure.
And listen, so $6 a month. Let's get a round estimate on how many overall subscribers.
This is the whole interview. Look, this is how it starts and ends. How many subscribers do you have?
No. Well,
Everything else we talking about.
This part. I'm gonna get to the morals part. I'm gonna end with the morals part. I gotta grill you on a few things.
I can't tell. I'm gonna ask you, how many subscribers do you think we have?
Jesus Christ, how many ratchets are in America? Y'all got the whole market.
How many subscribers?
shit.
How many subscribers do you think we have? And I'll get you a.
Okay.
Good,
All right.
Maybe
all right.
that's a good guess.
I believe that you guys have cracked concurrently the 10 million mark. I think that's huge.
I appreciate that. That's a good.
I think that's huge.
That's a good guess.
That's huge.
That's a great
now,
guess.
after 10, if I had to give it a limit, anything beyond 20 to 25, then we're like, yeah, you motherfuckers doing some shit. Right? But I'm giving y'all 10 to 25. I'm really giving y'all, if you ask me just personally, a float number between any month between 14 and 18.
14 and 18 what?
Million subscribers
Okay.
a month, which I think is a lot. Completely a lot.
How much is that a month?
Well,
You wanted to know how much money? I'm not saying that's it. Do the math. How much is that?
Well, 10 million would be.
So 10 million times 6
would be 60 million, right? 20 million
So
would be
60 million a month is on the low end what you project we
Yes.
make a month. And then how
on
much
the
is
high-
that? How much is that a year?
So 60 million times
12.
72 million. Oh no, 720 million, right? By the way, on the high end, which would be double that at least, it would be over $1 billion, clearly, 1.5 billion. I think you guys do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a good guess.
Now,
I said I'm gonna just say it's a good guess or not. I'm not confirming anything.
No, you don't have to confirm, but you can at least say at or way off.
I think I appreciate the guess. It's a great guess. Thank you.
Every ratchet I know subscribes to y'all shit. And you
I
know what the crazy
appreciate
thing
it.
is? Like, all the ratchets hate each other. They don't even do like Netflix. They don't even password share. Like, they all just subscribe individually.
Right.
They don't even password share. Like on Netflix, niggas is calling, yo, who got Netflix? With Zeus is like, all these ratchets hate each other, so everybody just be like, yo. They don't
Now, why do you, now when you see Zeus, what do you see? Like you see what? Like when you see, I don't know if you ever go to Zeus or my page or talents, like how do you, what does it look like?
I've only seen it when women who I've been with, or like my ex, like, she's, oh my God, she loves it. All I see is ratchetivity, bro.
Okay.
And I do see, it looks like great programming, but it just looks like it's one type of content.
Yeah.
It's one type of content, appealing and super serving. That's what you guys are great at. Like, I think once you realize King Bach and them niggas ain't pulling a fucking audience, they're like, listen, let's focus on black women, what they're into, the different facets of them, young black women, them going through life, And I think y'all did a great job. I'm so glad Jocelyn landed on her feet because Jocelyn was always a reality TV fucking icon.
Yeah.
Right? And y'all developed and also captivated great social media personalities, turned them to reality stars, Krishan, right? And then people like Natalie, I think Natalie's just a genius. So I think y'all are super serving that. And honestly, if you ask me, I think explain the Floyd Mayweather thing. He's a partner of Zeus. He owns some shit. Stop the cap.
No, we don't. I don't. Like I said, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's not a equity partner in Zeus, but he's a
Why does
great
he fighting associated with Zeus.
Well, Floyd is a great. We have a partnership with his projects, and so we've distributed his last 2 exhibitions. The first one in London, and then the second one in Miami with Gotti. The first one with Aaron Chalmers, and the other one with Gotti.
He talks about money all the time. You can't be quiet about the nigga who talks about money all the time. Like, this nigga talk about money all the time.
Let me call Floyd real quick. Actually, he called me. They called me in this meeting. But yeah, no.
Floyd, over under $20 million.
Floyd, first of all, Floyd is doing really well. I think he's
over under 10. I know Floyd ain't fighting for less than $10 million.
Listen, Floyd is doing really well. We've paid Floyd. I feel like we paid him a good amount for the fights, and he's done a great job. He's like, to be in business and to be in a partnership with him and his team is great. And
at least over 10. I'm gonna tell you why, because I was listening to a podcast. I was actually listening to the Brilliant Idiots. I was listening to Charlemagne talk about Zeus. Did you ever hear that conversation?
Nah, I didn't hear.
So he talked about Zeus on Brilliant Idiots with my man Andrew Schultz, and it was a very interesting conversation. This is after
we got to pull that up.
No, really, like it was so because he was confused by not only Zeus, but he was confused by even why Floyd would be even associated with Zeus, and the consensus came up like, no, well, Floyd has to own a part of it, and these exhibition fights are to help push Zeus. But also, me and him fall on the same wall.
We bring value to each other. We're hot right now. We're the hottest network. We're outperforming every other network. We're outperforming VH1. We're outperforming BET. We're outperforming.
But when you're talking about Floyd Boxing, we're talking about
Listen,
HBO
if you're the
Showtime.
Hottest network, why wouldn't you want to be associated with the hottest network?
Are y'all outperforming Viacom?
I didn't say Viacom. I said
no. Viacom products.
We're outperforming. We trend every week. Our viewership is way more than what they put out their numbers. They put out their numbers every week, every day. You can see. You can go online right now, and you can listen. You can go online right now.
I know.
Right now, and you can Google their viewership. Okay?
Your numbers beat it.
Our numbers. You know who we compete with? Who? The NBA playoffs. The NFL playoffs.
That's fucking cap.
Am I lying?
No, I'm not saying because
I'm saying if we announced our viewership, how many people pay to watch our content? I'm just telling you, they pay and then they watch. Like it's crazy. We trend every week on Twitter, whatever show we put out. We chart in the app store.
Millions of households.
Listen, we chart
if you're competing
millions.
With the NBA
We chart every week in the app store at a high level. So we know
the network is hot, but what about
the viewership? So it's subscriptions, is charting, is trending, and it's the viewership. So we're like outperforming them in every aspect.
Okay,
you can go right now on TikTok. You can go to a show right now. The shows have billions of the shows have billions of TikToks. Okay, billions of TikToks. One show. You go to one V8 Love and Hip Hop. They're not even at 1 billion. You go to the networks, VH1, BET. They're not even at 1 billion.
Well, that's
Zeus,
earned media though. Still,
but that's what that shows. All of it is showing you. Right,
but what's that conversion rate as we talk about?
Yeah, I'm just telling you. So I'm telling you what our viewership. If I showed you our viewership, the views. One thing.
The last episode of Krishan and Blueface,
millions of views.
That showed Blueface. He was sparring with Floyd, right? Floyd again. Okay, cool. How many paid viewers?
Millions.
There's millions. You're saying it's millions.
Millions.
Really?
Really.
Who has reached out to try to buy you guys? I mean, honest. Viacom is trying to make a play.
We're chilling. We're doing our thing, man.
Has any other streaming service tried to acquire?
We have a couple people reach out, but you know, we've been focused. We just been so focused, man, on growing and building our company. Like we haven't even. If they might have reached out, they might have reached out via email. I'm not even
exit point.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to realize there's a couple options. Obviously you can sell a company, you can find an investor. Again, we launched with Zeus with no independent. We launched it, black owned. Like I created it, founded it, CEO, invested in it myself. So my thing is that mentality stays with me. And so when I'm seeing the success, profit, all the different things that we're experiencing with the success, it's like, yeah, we can definitely explore those options as far as investment opportunities, which I'm open to. And we talk about it often, but also at the same time, we're doing very well. So it's for me, it's not just, you got to realize, right? Infusion of cash is great. It could potentially help, but that doesn't. Quibi raised billions of dollars. They raised billions of dollars and it had some of the biggest stars on the platform, and they folded and shut down within 6 months, right? They didn't have a hit. Nobody really cared. It's not even just appealing to the rat. I mean, Netflix doesn't just appeal to the rat. They're global. But either way, it's like, you know, Quibi, they failed when they launched. A few months after they launched, they shut down. It's public information. And they had billions of dollars to play with. So it's not just about the money. It's not like, all right, hey, I got X amount of billions of dollars in the account. I can do it. It requires so many other variables and components. So you got to hire the right people. I got to find the right stars. You're
a genius at it.
But I am. But and my team is too. It's not just me. I'm a genius, but I have a great team of geniuses.
What about BT? Well, we heard the news that, you know, Tyler Perry tried to buy him for $2 billion. Apparently, there was a higher bid that was closer to $3 billion. If I'm thinking about the cash flow that you guys are bringing in, I feel like you guys are bringing a shit ton of cash flow, maybe even close to $1 billion even per year, right? When you see something like that, that's clearly linear. Is that piquing your interest? Like, yo, let me get in on this, or shit, maybe there's a version of Zeus that, of course, your primary business is still in the streaming era, but like you could still have now a network that no matter what, it's like the old wagon, but you're always gonna have those advertisers.
I would say this is my response to it. You know, look, we all grew up in watching traditional linear television.
Comic View coming back.
Appointment TV.
It is.
Well, we all grew up watching appointment TV.
Appointment TV, I like that.
So for me, it's like that model is dying. We know that. We know it's fading. It's with anything, right? With any business fading. However, what's keeping them alive, right? And why it's still a thing is because the cable and satellite providers. Right. So although they're not getting as many views, right, cable and satellite still have people subscribing to these bundle deals, internet and cable or satellite. So when you pay that $147 a month, even though you got a cable box, you're still paying them every month. So they're able to still pay the networks. You know what I mean? And so the advertising fees may decrease, but they're still making some money. So they're getting paid two ways. The cable networks, they're getting paid primarily through the cable and satellite providers. So they get a check every month from Comcast, DirecTV, from Dish Network, and all these other cable and satellite providers that carry them. Okay? So to carry a network, you have to pay them to carry. So Revolt right now, you may not watch Revolt. You may not watch certain networks. You may watch Revolt.
Get a check?
They still get a check. They still get a check from cable and satellite providers. That's why, now, that's how they're able to operate, right? You may not watch MTV. You may not watch BT like that based upon appointment TV, but they still get a check from the cable and satellite providers. So Comcast still cuts them a check. You do the math. Netflix only charges $13 a month, and they say that they make a couple billion a month. So how much do you think Comcast is making a month? If they have 30 million plus customers that pay $150 a month, how much do you think they make a month?
Man,
if
pocket watching you so much, I didn't even pocket watch them.
Yeah. He pocket watching the wrong person. So if Comcast is public information. It's all public. Comcast has over 30 million customers. Comcast, they're a cable provider. They allow you to have access to internet and all these channels, whether you watch them or not. Right?
Their overhead is, but that's less profitable because their overheads is just like for example, let's say Disney wants to get rid of ESPN. One of the reasons why is that ESPN is locked into these.
But Disney is still getting paid from Comcast. Comcast pays Disney.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is that profit margin, like your profit margins, is literally your production budget. Well, and I guess you could market or whatever, but like most of that's like
no, I don't. We don't do that anymore. Like I said, we're not doing the margins situation with Zeus. We're in house, so all of our content is produced in house. We don't hire third party companies to produce our shows.
Yeah.
Everything's originals. All of our content.
But that's what I was saying. The margins for profits are just way more because you don't have to deal with all these type of things. All right. So BT. What would you think? Did you even try to buy it? No, you wouldn't care.
I mean, I definitely thought about like, all right, what would that look like if we acquire BT? That's a big property. They're a big brand. I mean, a lot of history there. They have a lot of assets. I would think, as far as content, old content, well, how valuable it is or not. I mean, that's hard to determine. But I would say that, the current model, people aren't really watching a lot of their shows. They're not really watching traditional linear television in general, just across the board with every network. So everybody's getting impacted by that. And then, so that, the more viewership decreases, the lower the budgets get. So they're not able to produce high quality, production, high quality productions or shows. So they can't spend as much money. So now the quality of the production is lower, or they can't invest in as much content.
Or it's like MTV, they keep playing Ridiculousness 50 times a day. Like how many times Wild 'N Out gonna come on? Like, God damn it.
Yeah. And we've been actually talking to Nick about a few projects.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of people, like I said, are reaching out and looking to work with us, and I'd be honored to make something happen with him. He's great, he's a legend, he's been doing some incredible things.
Well.
A mogul, 100% a mogul. So we've been talking, so it's been great, the conversations that we've had with Nick. But I would say that, look, the game has changed. It's continuing to change. Again, it's all about convenience, choice, and control, and that's the day and age we live in. We're now competing against, social media. That's the first way people watch content. They go online, they go and watch Instagram and clips or pictures and videos on there for hours out of the day. Then they may go to watch some type of VOD service or platform, whether it's AVOD, SVOD, TVOD, and within that, whether it's Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, whatever. And then they may go and watch, traditional linear television. And then from there, it's like, all right, movies, maybe I might go to the movies. So
I don't even watch award shows no more on linear is watched. The only thing I watch on that shit is Super Bowl or NBA playoffs. Hey, okay, great. All right, I might circle around back to the business because we got to figure out this motherfucker's. Actually, what's your net worth? What do you think? I say you got to be a billionaire on paper. You might not have that liquid, but the company's $1 billion company. So if you own everything and King Bach ain't getting 50%, right? Like if you sell it, you're a billionaire, essentially. That's why you got like 20 security guards, right? I do the same thing.
I have security because I'm very boots on the ground. I am a public figure. Why do
you like leave your office? Like you could have been
because
just
I like
smoking a cigar, just like
I don't. That's not me. I like production. I like being boots on the ground. I'm not micro. I'm not sitting there trying to tell people how to do that. Like they're shooting right now. While I'm sitting here with you, they shoot the whole show. They're in production right now. So we sometimes have multiple productions going at the same time. So it's just for me. I like production. I'm still creative. I'm still young. you know, I
Bro, how
like.
do we avoid my question? Are you a billionaire or not?
No,
Like,
you
what the
asked.
fuck?
You asked. Look, he got.
Bro, let's stick on the. Are
So-
you a billionaire, bro?
Listen.
What would you say?
Sure.
What would you say to that question?
Listen, I would say yes. Sure. Yep. Call me a billionaire.
No, but you know, like.
Can I say I'm a billionaire?
In the technical that network talk, no, you're a billionaire.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's that number for you to sell? And then after that, I got some moral questions for you. Then I'll get you out of here.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't know what I would want to sell Zeus for. If somebody came with a real check and a real offer,
$5 million. $5 billion, I mean, Bill. No, I'm saying almost faded. Nigga almost faded. Nigga said, nigga, I just spent that like in the last approving shoes for September.
shoes for
$5 billion. $5 billion, you stay with the company for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I might, sure. I would sell the company for $5 billion. No, I'm just joking. I don't know.
You're entertaining. Okay.
I'll entertain. I'll have the conversations.
Okay.
I'll talk to my team. I'll talk to my advisors. I'll talk to my, my lawyers and get everybody's feedback and thoughts, and then I'll make an educated decision.
Perfect.
Because there's ways to sell and still be. There's ways to sell and still be involved.
Yeah, I just seen P from QC today. They sell it for $300 million, and they still over here trying to get rappers signed. Hey,
but that's part of it.
Okay. Now, this is another part I wanted to touch on with you. So there's a moral aspect about Zeus. So when I looked at you and you came into that, I said, man, this is a skinny Q from WorldStar. And the reason why I said that because
I'm Q. You call me Diddy.
No,
you call me all of them.
Everybody, all the names I'm calling you, I have tremendous respect for. Q back in the day would try to give me a job, but I looked up to him. I wanted to be him on the media side, and obviously, times changed. I just could never be extreme as him because I was on other people's platforms. But what he did was so revolutionary and was so Guy Rest Soul is unfortunately passed away, but he was about to do something in a big way. I mean, Diddy's changed so many different industries, but Diddy's one of those people who's just a go-getter. I mean, the motherfucker's in media now as we talk about Revolt. When I look at you, I look at someone who is, number one, a black entrepreneur, which is deserved of all the praise, and you are black excellence, but you are one of the people who are pushing the envelope and also probably giving people content that these other places, like for example, look, you have Boosie still complaining about Mark Zuckerberg banning his Instagram account because we're all kind of slaves to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Like shit, I put out content, but like if YouTube and Twitch, they're like the content masters. You guys have this unique platform. It obviously does live on the Apple Store, but still you are a completely autonomous and you get to make the decisions that kind of affect the content you put up within reason. When I see people watch Zeus, they're watching because they're seeing the real shit. They're seeing shit they would never be able to see on network TV. They're gonna see arguments. I remember when reality shows on like say BT got whacked or like VH1 got whacked, when the fight happened and they turned the camera somewhere else. What the fuck is a fight? We came in for the fucking fight. What the hell? Y'all are showing everything. I see titties on that bitch. I see everything on that motherfucker.
Right.
What I'm saying is that how do you guys make these editorial decisions? And I'm wondering if you do have an editorial when it comes to media or a platform, people always talk about editorial decisions versus publishing decisions, where it's like, hey, whatever the creators make, we put it out? Or do you guys be like, hey, listen, this content right here might just not be suitable for our audience that might be viewing it? And how do you make those decisions? Because you guys are pretty raw.
So how do we make decisions?
So how do you make decisions in terms of any content that's shot? So somebody was fighting, somebody got injured badly, or say a particular conversation got too heated, or the sensitive subjects. Do you just say, hey, we're a publisher, whatever the content creators, our EPs approve, we put out? Or are you guys having those meetings to say, hey, listen, we want to keep shit above board still. Like, we don't want certain levels of violence. We don't want these things to happen because, again, So how do you guys make those decisions?
Yeah, I think for us, we brand ourselves as a real authentic network. We are authentic. Like I said, we keep it raw, real. we promote, you know, things being, you know, I just as real as it could be. I mean, we're not trying to produce or story produce certain shows. You know, I think it's all about authenticity and the raw and realness of our projects. I think that, you know, we identify certain people that people want to see and people that they find entertaining, that have a unique story to tell, and they want an outlet to tell their story. And so, for instance, Rashawn and Blueface, you know, you guys, people have been watching them online on social media. We wanted to capture it in a different way, and we wanted them to have the ability to tell their story in the most real, raw way possible. And it did really well. It resonated with our audience. Same thing with Baddies, so on and so forth.
So, and this is me asking as also, you know, you're a network owner. I own a platform in terms of media, because I get these questions as well. Okay, if I show a rapper getting slapped, if I show a chain getting snatched from a rapper, my engagement is through the roof, right? Now, obviously, the monetization strategy is different, right? The
But you gotta watch, the whole show is not that. There's things that build up to that, but there's when people, you may watch clips,
but those are the things that get the traction to bring the people into Zeus, which I'm wondering if that's like maybe conflicting if you're not trying to send that message to say, hey, listen, we're getting a lot of earned media through negative interactions between individuals or promoting these things that might be negative. Again, I'm not trying to.
No, I don't take it.
People say this to me too. Like I was
gonna say, look at your show.
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
Look at.
So I'm wondering.
I mean, your show. People could call you salacious. They could say all sorts of things about you.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
They have. I'm saying, what's
so
your
I would greenlight a show with you because you're authentic. You're real. I love it. I find you to be highly entertaining. Do you
hold any responsibility?
I'm saying, if I was to greenlight a show with you right now, what am I gonna be? I'm greenlighting you and your show.
But they might say, well,
if I greenlight your show right now, are you gonna act any different than how you're acting right now?
No, but they
so
might.
It's the same thing with them.
Hold on, but they might say to you, well, you know, Akademiks is A, B, and C. You greenlighting him to have a show means you must be okay with.
Why are you doing your show?
Well, I'm doing me on my show.
But why are you doing it?
Well,
what's the purpose of you? Why are you doing this show?
Well, whatever I would be doing, I'd be doing me, right?
But you'll be doing you because you want to tell your story. You want to do things in a way that's unapologetically you. You want to give people a platform and an outlet to share their story. You want to ask the raw questions, the real questions. You want to get to the nitty gritty. You don't want to sugarcoat and fluff stuff. And that's why people find you attractive. Whether they hate you, they love you, they love whatever, it doesn't matter, right? They watch you. Spotify greenlit a show with you because I get the same questions. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Spotify,
no.
Listen, Spotify.
No, you're right.
Spotify
I'm
greenlit a show with you.
I'm agreeing with you. But Daniel Eckerson here, we got you.
No, but I know. But I'm saying,
yeah. So we got you. So here's the question. Here's a question that intuitively gets asked. It's like, okay, great, and it's been asked of me just even as a platform.
I'm saying,
like, if you only show,
I'm not only showing. I feel like it's
a lot of fighting.
We're at a unique time. I think, first of all, people are desensitized with all
towards it. Not.
No, all towards. If you take out Zeus, do you know how much stuff is on social media every day? Every day. There's so much stuff that happens on social media.
Zeus is pretty much network TV.
No, we're not network. No, we're not network TV. We're a subscription video on demand platform, right? Just like you. But listen, just like you. What makes us different than HBO? What makes us different than? Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. What are you talking? HBO used to have real sex. They used to have people walking around butt naked. Right. Okay, but hold on, wait. So HBO has so many. Like, whether it's scripted, unscripted, it doesn't matter. They promote the same way we do. Why do I have to? Why ask HBO why they do what they do? Listen, no, I'm asking. No, balance. What do you mean balance?
If every show, name a show on your network where niggas ain't scrapping.
It's only we only have so many shows. Hold on, wait. Listen. We only have so many. We're not HBO. We haven't been around for 20 plus years.
I'll give you that.
Right. We don't have unlimited budgets.
Gotcha.
Right. We have to be very strategic with what we greenlight at this current time. We do have plans to diversify our content. We're only 5.
So you want to elevate?
Hold on. Listen. We're only 5 years old, man. Netflix has been around for Netflix has been around for over 25 years. Listen, Netflix has been around. Disney has been around for how long?
So you're telling me you're going to elevate from
absolutely.
This
listen, absolutely. Everybody has a reason to. They mad that Haley was black and the Little Mermaid. Everybody gonna find a reason to be mad about something. Why is Haley black and she the Little Mermaid? Like, cause she's a great Little Mermaid. I don't know. Like Disney greenlit. What are you talking about? She did a great job. So I'm just saying. Listen. All I'm saying is this: everybody's gonna get scrutinized whenever there's success, whenever you're popping. People, whenever is out there and people are talking, people are gonna find a way. I'm just saying. I think what you do is great. I think you're like amazing at what you do. Like you're like killing the game with how you do your talk shows. And I think that is what intrigued me to come. I said, I talked to myself. I was like, I get people hit me up all the time about doing interviews and things like that. But I was like, I like him. That. I like him because he keeps it real. He's going to be entertaining. He's not going to ask me some weird questions. He might ask me some whatever questions. He might, meaning when I say weird, it's not going to be like
some left field.
Yeah, you're. But it's not. Even if you were, it's fine. I don't care. I mean, I'm prepared for whatever. But I'm just saying, like, People know who you are. They pay attention to what you do because you're authentic. You're unapologetically you. You share your thoughts and feelings. They may not agree with it, and that's fine. I would greenlight a show just like Spotify did in a second with you. So I wouldn't be ashamed of it. So for me though, but let's go back to HBO. HBO, right? HBO has so many different types of content. They have unscripted, they have scripted shows that promote violence, nudity, sexuality, all sorts of profanity. There's all sorts of content on HBO, on Netflix, on Hulu that has all that content. Why do you have to target me? Because I'm black, young, and I'm a new network? Cool. I'm cool with that. Listen, I'm going to keep doing, Zeus, they got these girls fighting.
That plight. I guess my response to that would be, so like these days, people ask me, they said, well, when you were getting your start, I did a series called The War in Chirac. And people now use it to say, well, when you did that series, it was mostly had a negative effect, and they asked me to reflect on it, right? Now, granted, I'm way past that. I've done many other things, but I reflected that within that time, and I was coming up. A little bit of I ain't no better, but that was what I was doing to try to get to another level. I'm asking you, I feel like we're almost admitting that this is $1 billion company that's grossing $1 billion. Do you at least agree? Not that you're basking in like all of the moralistic content that happens on the platform, but you're not overtly trying to promote either violence or whatever, but you're also hoping to diversify, because I think that's what people want.
Well, it's not a hope. We are.
Okay.
We are. We're working on that now. Scripted, unscripted. We're working on greenlighting new shows. We want to have more shows. We don't want to just have, we want to
film me. Like, what do you guys have in the pipelines?
We have all sorts of shows in the pipeline. We have dating shows. We have fashion shows. We have, talk shows, podcasts. We have so many different things that we want to get off the ground. And so I just always want to make sure we do it right. We market it right. Like Netflix, what's the best way to say this? It's like sometimes you don't even know what they just put, new releases that they just put out, because there's so much content, right? Part of our strategy and part of like what makes us special is when we announce something, that's what you're about to get with Zeus. I do want to double down on shows. I do want to have multiple series go out at the same time. And so that is something that I'm working on, just how we want to release it different days. Okay, cool. Maybe Sundays is one day. Maybe, okay, Monday, Tuesday, we release new content on this day so we can balance that. I mean, there's a lot of different variables and things that we have to consider when we're putting out new shows. What days work best? Sundays are like our night, right? And so we haven't really experimented with other nights, so we would have to do that. And then we have experimented with other shows.
How many shows you guys have currently?
I honestly, I have no idea. We have a lot of shows. I have no idea how many shows.
Over, under 5 or 10?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I only know
New shows.
I
Yeah,
know the big ones.
But all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you know, all of this takes real planning and a real strategy. So I don't want to just, you know, like, yeah, we're going to diversify our shows. I don't want to put out a bootleg scripted series. When you see Zeus scripted, it's going to be like watching Power. It's going to be like watching something high quality, premium like that you're like, oh, wow, damn, Zeus killed it with this, just like we did with our unscripted. So I'm not going to just rush into just putting out a scripted project just because we want to have scripted projects out. I'm not going to be like every other black streaming company that does that. You're going to know when Zeus has a scripted show because it's going to be a hit and it's going to be loud. It's going to be provocative. It's going to be
the same. Power.
We get Power, Euphoria, P-Valley, all those shows did really well. So we're looking at
450 such shows.
We look well, P-Valley is not 50 and Euphoria is on 80. But I would say that all of those shows had a lot of, but they all pushed the envelope, right? And you, just to get back to your other point, like even when you watch Euphoria, they promoted sex, they promoted violence, drugs.
Right.
I'm just saying, people, what's the difference? They promoted. It was tons of look, there were people killing. There were people dying on these shows. Like, even though it's scripted, there were people dying. When you watch Euphoria, people who died, drugs. I mean, these people want.
Well, those are fictional. Y'all
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It still has influence and impact. It still is relatable to people. People watch it because they find it entertaining and intriguing, whether it's scripted or unscripted. So hear me out. You watch Euphoria, people can relate. They do drugs. They did drugs. They fought. There was violence. There was nudity. There was profanity. There were all sorts of things that were involved in that show. So I'm just saying that don't target us. Well, why does Zeus put out this and put out that? The industry.
I do want to ask this because I seen it.
And then when you don't put that out and you put out something, you don't even have time. People don't even watch the shows that they say they want to watch.
Was it a regrettable decision to showcase Krishan Rock, who's pregnant, smoking on your network? Also, even with this whole thing, and you probably can't speak about that particular issue because she said she saw y'all. Y'all don't have a pregnant woman smoking on camera and fighting. Do y'all?
Honestly, I was not. I don't know. I haven't seen. Honestly, I'm not that involved in the post. I don't watch every clip, every moment, every little thing. So I can't really speak on that.
But you've heard of it now.
I've been honestly, I haven't heard of a lot of things.
Never seen it. It's on your network.
Listen, I just got a call about some other stuff that was on my network that I didn't even know was on my network.
But if that was on it, that would be a regrettable moment. At least.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been anything that's been a thing for me. So, you know, usually when it's like a thing, I'll get a lot of calls or emails or texts.
People were talking about social media.
I'm not saying people weren't. They talk about it every week. It trends every week. So I was respectfully, like, Jocelyn was number 5 in, on Twitter all day on Sunday. You know what I mean? Natalie was trending number 9. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, I'm just
back to that other conversation.
I'm just telling you the real, like, I'm just telling you. You asked me,
editor?
no, but you asked me mm-hmm. as a CEO. Like, I'm almost 100% sure. Spotify, I keep referencing it because it's the logo. But
if
Spotify, HBO,
they're calling me.
No, I'm saying
if right now
if it makes it to his desk, it didn't make it to my desk.
If it trended on Twitter, they're calling me.
No, there's a lot of things 100%. That trend. There's a lot of things that trend on Twitter that
you got a PR company. You got a PR company, obviously.
No,
there's no PR company for Zeus.
No,
there's no. Stop it.
There's no parent company.
No, not parent. PR.
Oh, PR. I just said parent. I thought it didn't say parent. Didn't say parent.
PR. Yeah.
We do have a PR company.
When the Shade Room posts, hey, yo,
you gotta realize the blogs post us every day. We have our own blogs. We have Zeus Inc., Zeus Hottest Tea. Even the shows have blogs now. I just learned. I was like, oh, when did Baddies get a blog? Like, they have a blog now. So I can't respectfully, like, they post. I can't. It's so much going on every day in my life. I have a personal life. I have a professional life. So for me, it's like, I can't. Like, if it doesn't hit my desk and it's not on my radar like that, then, I don't usually address it. If it's something that I have to address or have to deal with, I'll deal with it and I'll prioritize that. But there are certain things that just don't
What about Blueface and Krishan, a relationship that we watched just on social media, kind of I feel like take place. And again, I'm kind of harping back to the same question about, as a network, do you view yourself more as a publisher? By the way, I get this question a lot because every time they drag in Google, Twitter, and Meta CEOs into Congress, they ask them this question. Like, do you just feel like whatever you showcase about an individual or you showcase on a show, you're just showing what that creator their own actions are? Or do you feel like, hey, listen, bro, we can't show you getting fucking hit in the head with a fucking bottle type shit. You know what I mean? It's like, and I guess that's the question. You know what I mean? I'm asking in a bunch of different ways, but I'm wondering where your answer is, and then also just on a, like, for example, I know a lot of young women. I was telling Krishan that on the phone before we even get in here.
Yeah.
They literally, like, I'm not gonna say like they're like kids that look up to like her, like whatever, but like they watch her, and part of them watching her is on your network, and her actions, even if it's depicted, might not be the whole story, and you guys are producing very, invigorating content. So it's you guys are cutting the center.
Right.
They believe that what they see is a role model. So when they see her having issues and her acting a certain way, they actually take that and they operate in their regular lives that way. And I'm wondering if that even comes across. I know a lot of things don't come across his desk, but is that coming across your mind in terms of just maybe some of the role models you guys are creating? Because you guys are creating stars.
Sure.
Is there those things that kind of get thought about or no?
Yeah, I think about a lot of things. I wouldn't isolate Krishan and Blueface show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens on Baddies. There's a lot of stuff that happens. There's a lot of stuff that happens on Jocelyn's show. I mean, look, even the last exhibition with Floyd, it was a Royal Rumble. I mean, we can't control everything that happens. You know what I mean? We show, but that's part of Zeus. We show the raw and the real. We didn't know that was gonna happen. Like when Floyd, and Gotti got into it. I mean, you saw it. It went viral. Floyd was fighting. The ref called off the fight. Gotti went over to him, started going. His money team came on. It was a whole Royal Rumble with these people. Like the whole stadium went crazy. It was like bananas, So we were airing it exclusively on Zeus, live. So it's like,
was there any kinks? I don't know if you guys have ever done live.
No, we've done live. We do all of his exhibitions live.
Oh, okay.
They're live.
That's probably a massive amount of numbers.
Oh yeah,
Services
it's great. It's great. So it's great. All I'm saying is, there's a lot of stuff that happens on all of our shows, right? I think across the board, we like to show raw, real, authentic, uncensored, unfiltered content. And that's what we put out. And we document it in a high quality premium way. And we distribute what we feel our fans want to see. So whether we support it, we don't, that, we keep things authentic and real and raw. And so obviously, I can't speak to everything that happens on all of these shows. Everything could be questioned. A lot of things I don't know. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna say something about something. So, whether it's, like I said, whether it's Krishan's show, whether it's Jocelyn's show, whether it's Baddies,
or even the fight. Hey, let me tell you this, and I don't mean to grill you.
No, I don't take it as grill.
I like you, and I like you because you are a upcoming upstart entrepreneur that's inevitably gonna just run like a whole sector, and I'm glad you're black. And
thank you, man.
I only bring these things up because as a young man, even myself, creating content when I was getting into things, I wanted to be raw and edgy. And, later on, obviously I changed my stance on certain things, but in the moment, you're doing everything you need to like survive among the behemoths, right? Like, I see you're hanging on the charts with people with billions of dollars of marketing dollars behind them. You know what I mean? So again, I feel as you evolve, I feel you have a good heart, and obviously I think the content's just gonna much evolve. You know what I mean? Like shit, it might be just like, who knows? Like in 3 years, your number one show might be a fucking cooking show. Like fuck it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And all these questions I've asked you, I'm just saying is because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want people to be like, damn, why Ak getting on him when Ak has been the salacious guy,
right,
edgy guy trying to make it till he got to a point. I just ask you those questions because I do know sometimes, because we're Black, right? And we share a community that's very supportive of either the content or the entertainment we do. We owe a little to them to at least explain it. That's why I'm glad you came here. Yeah. Because you could have said, okay, I know Ak's a pocket watcher, but he's probably going to ask me a little bit about some of the content. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And I appreciate all the questions you have. I don't take anything negative at all. I genuinely appreciate it. I think that we have a great we have great customers. They're very engaged with all of our content. They will tell us how they feel. The great thing about Zeus too on our platform is we allow and we've enabled a special feature on our platform where they can comment on every episode of every show.
Oh, I see that. I see like 10,000 comments. That's why I knew y'all niggas had subscribers.
Yeah. 10,000. So sometimes in the 20, 30, 40, 50s, as far as how many people comment on each of these shows and episodes. So I think our fans are very smart. They know what they want to see. They know what they want to watch. And they tell us what they want. They tell us, we're servicing an audience that wants to see a specific type of content right now. But we're also going to service, more people as we evolve and we grow. And so, everybody has a unique story. Everybody comes from different types of places and environments. And, I love Krishan and Blueface. They have a great story. Yeah, it can be a little turbulent and, this is their story. We start the series off with, this is their story. Like, whether you agree with us or not, we have a title card that says, this is their story. So we just document it. We shoot it in a professional way. We let the cameras roll and we tell their story. And, we put out what we feel their audience and our audience wants to see. And that's what we shoot. And so same thing with Baddies and same thing with Jocelyn, same thing with some of our other shows. So, I look forward to the day where we continue to put out different types of content, scripted, more unscripted, talk shows, podcasts,
what else?
Sports.
We could probably talk about some shit.
No, sports, all of it. Like even sports, like I said, it was a risk with, working with Floyd. That was live. It was a lot going on. It's pay-per-view. So it's like, that was something that
to deal with.
No, Floyd's cool. Floyd is cool. I love Floyd. He's great. I mean, I don't have any issues with Floyd. We have a great relationship. We enjoy doing business together. He's really cool, down to earth guy. I mean, he moves the way he moves. He's a superstar. He's a legend. He's an icon. Definitely. And so, definitely learned a lot from him. I think he's learned some things from Zeus and myself. And so we want to continue to grow and build our relationship. But I think we both bring a lot of value to each other. You know what I mean?
I do want to let you get out of here. Because I do long interviews.
It's all good.
I don't want your team falling asleep on me.
Y'all falling asleep?
I do want to ask you because they will not let me let you out of here before I ask you this. What's up with these fake ass motherfucking auditions y'all be having? People say they be camping out doing this, and
you know what it is.
There's some people that hit me like they're so mad at you.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Well, I don't know if you're on that level of like, because I'm pretty sure you're not like, pick her, but still like, I guess, you have a rabid fan base that not only watches, but they're looking at these characters, right? Saying, I could be on that show.
Listen, I would say the auditions, we appreciate everybody coming out. There's tens of thousands of people sometimes that come out to these auditions, which is crazy. Finding a location is challenging at times. Hotels, they work with us, so we appreciate it. But it's a lot of people that audition to be on some of these shows, and so our casting process, is something that we take very seriously. And then there's a lot of different variables. We definitely add folks that audition. We add other folks that submit their resumes, so to speak, or their material, so that we can determine whether or not we want to work with them. There's also celebrities that want to be involved that inquire and reach out. And so the casting process with Baddies is a very unique one. It's very unique. And then there's returning stars that people want to see that become fan favorites. And so everybody has an opinion. You shouldn't bring this person back. You should bring this person. You should add this person.
Do you get involved in those discussions? Or?
Yeah, I'm very involved. I mean, Baddies is a flagship show. So I'm pretty hands-on with Baddies and the casting process. But, we have a great team of folks that
y'all are on the East now, because I see y'all are all. What's the thought about like I guess did y'all have South? I don't know.
Yeah, we did. So we did Baddies South, Baddies West, Baddies East. I'm a little nervous to go to the Midwest.
Well, shit, who the fuck is in there? Y'all might have some country ratchet. So, is it also targeted at? I feel like it's almost like a tour, damn near, and I feel like you guys are touching every market.
It's evolved. The great thing about Baddies is evolving every day. the format and the formula for Baddies is changing like almost every day. Cast, touring, this, that, and the other. So it's like it's very exciting. Like it's not just it's not just a specific format. Okay, this happens. It literally evolves it changes and evolves every season. Cast members, how we move, what we do, like it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, the crowds, we were in New York. I can't remember exactly where we went. I mean, the streets, it was like flooded with fans. I mean, we went to this event that we had, Baddies, Baddie Blunts, which is Natalie's brand, the supporter brand on the show. And we went to Kush Factory. Yeah, Kush. And so, I mean, it was crazy. All the people that came out, even when we go out to these different venues, people that come out and support, and how these people are like literal celebrities like that. You know what I mean? It's very interesting, and it's very like incredible to see that. So I don't know. It's the shows, Baddies specifically, it evolves and it changes. People quit. We find replacements. I mean, that's something new and different. It's just we've added more people. We started off, first season of Baddies we've ever had was like 8 people, and it was like 10 and 12. Now we had like 14 cast members. We added a DJ. I mean, it's so many different variables.
How long could you guys keep price point just way less than all the competitors? Like, how long do you think? Because it was $4.99 at one point.
It was $3.99 at one point.
$3.99. Damn, I can't remember.
Or no,
great.
was it $3.99? Yeah, it was $3.99 at one point. Then it was $4.99, $5.99, and now it's at $5.99.
So now it's $5.99. Obviously with you guys trying to do more, and it's like
we're very strategic with our price point. We don't want to. We got to handle that very delicately. We don't want to just, hey, we're paying, like, you got to have the right content coming out, more content that the customers and consumers can watch, because we're in a very accelerated like business. People want stuff now. They want it now. So it's like, that's the unique thing about Zeus, is like our turnaround time is like incredible. Like when you produce a series at any other network, they take forever to put out a show, or there's a whole process. We're in the middle of Baddies right now. We're premiering it like next month. So I mean, we haven't even announced yet.
I know y'all turnaround is like mad quick, because somebody hit me with the footage, be like, "Yo, this is the footage of somebody getting jumped,"
right?
And then I look like 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later online.
Right.
The episode comes out. I'm
right.
Like,
no, it's crazy. And we're like, we love that. It's like we're simultaneously editing our shows. We have a great team, a great system set up. Our infrastructure is great, what we've built. The new facility that we're in, it's like everything is working out great, man. And
what's your relationship with just like other moguls and just heavyweights in the space?
A great relationship with Floyd. Great relationship with Diddy. Diddy and I have had many conversations. We've had many.
You want you to buy a revolver from him?
No, actually, no, not at all. We talk.
You talking about his Diddy want everything, man.
But I love the spirit of where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like,
so it's like entrepreneurship.
Yeah, but it's not just that. He's trying to aggregate people. His thing is, look, it's going to take an enormous team of us to come together to really have serious impact. And I think that's where he's at right now. He's just like, look, it's going to take you. And I feel like I can aggregate people and we can make something really incredible happen. So I think that's kind of the mission and movement he's on, which I think is dope. So, but yeah, I mean, we have a great, relationship. Floyd, we have a great relationship. I have a great relationship with Snoop, with Birdman, with Dame Dash. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, Byron Allen. I know Byron Allen very well. We've had many conversations about the business and all sorts of things. Jonathan Rogers. I don't know. You don't know who he is, but he was the president of TV One at one point in time, CEO and president of TV One. Then he was the president of all the Discovery networks and CBS at a point in time. He's one of my mentors. There's a lot of moguls and legends. My dad, obviously. What
does your dad say about all this? Proud?
That's a whole nother interview. He's proud of me. He's proud of me and the success. My dad lives in Israel. Wow. He's a minister. He's the bishop of Israel.
Wow.
And he's, I told him he should be the bishop of Zeus. He doesn't want that position. I don't know why. But
how well does it pay?
Pays really well.
At least your dad. Right?
No, I'm just joking. But no, he's doing his thing over in Israel, and we support his business and all the things that he has going on. Is he does a lot of incredible things. So I think he's proud of me. I think he's obviously he's a little old school. He wants to see more diversity, and just like a lot of folks, and we're gonna do that. So there's a lot of people that I'm friends with that I look up to. I have a lot of great friends. My team, my brother LJ, Jason. Shout out to Jason and LJ. Hold on, I got to shout out some people real quick.
I know. I was about to say one thing I noticed about you. I was watching you do an office tour. You are full with praises of everybody around you.
Yeah,
I've never seen you're just like, this is just me. I did it by myself. I see you past the accolades and everything. And go ahead.
No, I was saying, look, my team. Jason, LJ, my older brother, Daryl Farmer, my girl Janisha. Obviously my family. Will, Leah, my brother Lauren, L'Oreal. We're a family business, so a lot of my family works with me as well. My mom, my dad, my friends, Matt Cash, who's here, Jalen Kadeem, my assistant James, Daryl, all of my content partners.
You have to say the rest of this for
No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Network.
No. I'm just
speech.
No, listen. Even our security team. I mean, listen. I know you was joking about it when we first came in. You're like, hey, look, you got a lot of people, but security is important in this day and age. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the world. So
y'all move around a lot.
We move around a lot. There's a lot going on. But shout out to my security team, Anthony, who's the head of our security, Xavier, who's one of my leads over here with my team, and Beast, and that specific team. I mean, we have an incredible team, man. And just shout out to everybody. I can't tell you how many people that are so instrumental with the success of Zeus. It's not about me. Our editors, our production folks, our talent producers, our producers, Diane, who's a producer, my sister, all sorts of things. It's just a lot of people to shout out and to thank. And it really takes a village. And, we're all close. We all love each other. We're all a family. We all move together. We ride with each other. People have been working with Zeus for years. They sacrifice enormous time away from their families to make this thing work. So, it's impossible for it to be about me. Of course, our talent and our content partners, Natalie to Jocelyn to, Krishan and Blueface, Floyd, a lot of folks that we've worked with in the past, from Black China to Ray J, Chance, people that we're still working with, Jonathan, the Bad Boys, all sorts of people no real talk. Also, he's a story producer. He's a great story producer. So all sorts of people. He's stupid.
That nigga follows a fake. All right, man. All right, bro. All right, we can't. Listen. I'm rooting for you. Listen. You're a.
You said that.
Yeah, it's all good. He'll know you really meant it. But anyway, yo,
really
the great thing with all of this is that you're someone who come across as likable.
Thanks, man.
You're someone who, you know, I don't think your network is perfect, but I do think that you guys are doing with what the little you have. Plus, you got, again, it kind of happens like this. And I like what you guys are doing.
I do got to shout out one other person, sorry.
Ooh.
Shane. Shane is our technology partner, and he does a great job.
He's the one who codes everything and everything?
He handles all of our technology.
Jeez.
And so we have a great team behind Shane, and he's aggregated a lot of tech partners that we appreciate. So
he's the one that got to make sure he can work on the iPhone 13 or whatever?
he's you know, he's great. But I don't know, man. Who am I missing right now? Who did I say? Did I miss somebody?
How many employees you got, brother?
Yeah,
How many employees you have?
Hundreds, man. Hundreds of people.
Okay, I know you don't want to tell me numbers, but what's that number
Look,
approximately for payroll that you process bi-weekly or monthly?
You want to know my payroll budget? That's great. Hey, hold on. What's your payroll budget?
I can tell you. Let me tell you.
He said I could.
I'll tell you.
Hey, look, he
Tell me
stuttered. He's like, I can tell you.
I'll tell everybody how much I even pay myself.
No, sure.
I pay myself $8,000 a month.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's your tax purposes?
Brother, stop hating on me, brother.
That's definitely for tax purposes. So
I pay myself $8,000 a month.
That's not your real
I promise you,
income.
that's what I pay myself.
That's what you pay. How much does your company make?
Okay.
What's your company?
Academics.
No, what's the name of your company?
DJ Academics LLC.
Okay. How much does DJ Academics LLC make?
If you say, I'll say it. I promise you. Monthly, I'll definitely say it.
Yo, how much do you make?
Because I don't make.
How much do you make?
Well,
I'm
not gonna tell me.
No, look, see.
Hold on. I'll give you a ballpark.
He said how much he makes. I want to know how much who's the owner in your company?
Okay.
Who's the owner in your company?
No.
Who's the owner in your company?
Oh, definitely me. Are you crazy?
Anybody else?
Motherfucker, hell no.
Okay, so you're the sole owner.
You know how many people trying to buy?
So really your income.
Okay.
So your company, DJ Academics LLC, makes X amount. You pay yourself a very small fee for tax purposes.
You like bringing you say ask him about something, he trying to bring it on Spotify. Hold on. Let me ask you one question. No, hold on. I'll tell you this though. Bills monthly for me end up being I'm combining a little bit of personal life and work. It's six figures monthly.
That's great.
What's that monthly overhead for Zeus? How much I pay for them servers?
Listen,
man?
We're $1 billion company. I'm gonna take it. We're $1 billion company.
$50 million to run it a month?
It's so many different. I'm not. I gotta call. Let me call my accounting department.
Oh, perfect. Put me on the phone with them. I would have the interview with them.
They could tell you how much we make. But real talk. No, I thank you. I appreciate you asking. Obviously he has the power to cut this out, this part of the interview. I don't have that power. You know what I mean? So I would be surprised if he put this in the.
If you were to tell me a number, you want me to cut it out?
No, I'm talking about the number you just mentioned.
What?
I don't know if you're gonna edit this out.
The fuck? I put my number out there. What the fuck?
Okay, so I don't know.
Well, listen.
I'm just saying, does he not have the power?
No, you're right. Hold
to edit it out. So he can say that and get me to say the number and then edit it out.
No, I would never do.
He'd be like, I'm not and then he'll say,
no, listen. I've told people like honestly,
the audio cut out when he was saying how much he made.
No, companies have tried to buy into the brand of academics and they'll be like, oh, we'll give you a little 10 million or whatever the case is for like a percentage, which means I guess they're valuing me maybe at like 40 to 50, right? But like you're like a fucking different behemoth. I'm telling my numbers. I'm not cutting this other shit out. That's what I'm telling you.
We're doing.
I've said this on my stream.
Zeus is doing incredibly well. I promise you. This is what we're gonna do.
Okay, there we go.
At some point soon.
Yes.
I will release some information. At some point soon, as far as like
release it to me first.
How many subscribers we have?
Really?
I want some people. I didn't say soon. Soon is subjective and relative. That could mean I don't know what that means.
Yo, what's up with this nigga, man?
So sometime soon.
This year.
Sometime soon. I will happily release more information about our subscriber numbers.
Could I be an independent auditor?
Daryl?
That sound like a hate, man. Damn, I thought you was a street nigga, man. What's up with you, man? Now you're in your official capacity right now. All right. Okay, but wait, why would you do that though? I'm wondering.
Why would I release the numbers?
Because listen, I get.
I'm gonna cross my legs. I'm gonna cross my legs for this.
Like we're having fun right now, but like if I'm you, I would just keep it secret until
I feel like
people want to buy, and I would fucking like.
Yeah, I mean it depends. Like honestly, Netflix is not. Are they a publicly traded company?
Yes.
I think it's. Yeah. So I think maybe that might be a reason why soon.
Oh, you might be going public.
We don't know. We'll see.
What would IPO look like? That would be good.
So I'm just saying. So if we do that, obviously we'll release our information.
Oh, you're ready to cash out. The first stock. I see my boy.
So we'll see. Like if that's something that could happen soon. I may just say, look, I'm just happy to share the success of how many subs we have.
Why don't Netflix just buy y'all or something?
I don't know if we're on their radar right now. I don't know whose radar we're on. I don't know if we're on Netflix. Is like
Netflix has been doing more and more urban content.
But the thing is, I think
they don't do reality shows.
Well, not just that. I think that their focus right now is the international market and creating original programming there. I mean, obviously they service the domestic audience. I mean, the domestic audience very well. I mean, they've been doing that for years. So
are you licking your chops that they're on strike? Because in reality, right? Let's go back. When reality shows popped off before, it was another writer's strike, right? Where the writers are out of the mix talking about, we want more. All right, keep marching, motherfuckers. We're about to shoot these reality shows. Now they're back marching. Your company's getting bigger and bigger. Eventually, Netflix is going to be like, yo, if we're looking at our slate for like 2024, summer, we have nothing. Or fucking, they usually plan a year at least in advance. They might be like, yo, we might need to license Krishan and Blueface. They don't got no writers. They just get on camera and do their thing.
Right.
You're hoping the strike lasts longer. Company, come on.
No, not at all. I want everybody to have, opportunities to benefit from the success of a lot of these other streaming platforms. And I said that earlier. Media trained.
Damn.
So,
oh my God, I like it.
So for me, no, I look, we look, Zeus. We do what we do, man. We do what we do, and we keep it pushing. So we're independent. We do our thing. We want to service our audience. That's our focus. We support.
Man, the media told me to. Listen, all right, come on. I'm trying to wrap the interview. Hold on. Let me ask you this last question. And yes, I am my own boss. I own everything I own. I tell my lawyers what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. Let's have a public negotiation. I get in the ring on Zeus. How much you pay me?
How much you want me to pay you?
Well, I said for the me and Blueface thing, I don't know how that goes.
I'll give you 100,000.
Are you out of your fucking mind, my nigga?
How much you want?
Okay,
how much do you want?
So for me to get in the ring
with Blueface.
Are
you scared? Do you think you'll lose to Blueface?
I definitely think I would lose to Blueface. Yo, that nigga was boxing on the floor. I was confident. Yo, I talk shit to rappers. These niggas is weak and small as that. First, I do know Blueface is tall, but I thought his squabbles would. And I know you're a Crip, but I ain't never think his squabbles would squabble in. You feel me? But he's kind of squabbling. Yeah. And then
he's a good fighter. Blue's a good fighter.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, what the fuck?
I think he can make.
He's supposed to be a regular rapper.
For real. I think he can make a for real career out of boxing. He's good.
He's super talented. Because even though
he's quick, he has reach. He has reach.
No,
you know what I mean.
He's good enough where if you're not someone who's put in a lot of legitimate training, he'll beat your ass.
Yeah.
So if
all right, would you fight Krishan?
Oh my God. Wait, no, hold on.
Real talk. No.
Wait, I'll fight one of these rappers. But they don't got no name though. I was thinking about a nigga like Freddie Gibbs or something like that.
Would be a good fight with him.
Yo, back in the day.
Who? Nah,
you would love me. Well, hold on. Yo, back in the day, I had beef with Meek Mill. I was thinking about how much I would. Yo, hold on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't get in the ring for less than $1 million. And
less than $1 million?
I'm gonna tell you why.
So you want $1 million?
I'm not saying I want $1 million, but I'm telling you where at least the minimum boundaries is because I make that the time I would take to train. I make that already. So it's like, again, you're a billionaire. I just imagine the amount of money you earn. you wouldn't do some bullshit. Like when I see people hopping in the ring for 100,000, I'm like, dog, I gamble 100,000 and lose the night and go to sleep very comfortably.
Right.
How the fuck is you in there boxing for your life, risking brain damage, and you're not getting the bag?
Right.
You need to go listen
real.
to, but they don't own a media company. They're not me. So I'm looking at them like, damn, 100 grand is what it takes you to get your brains knocked out. For me,
no, I think
for me,
but who would you fight? That all depends on who you fight.
Oh, I'm down. Link me one of these rappers.
Who?
Shit.
Just give me a name. I'll make a call
the
right
rappers
now.
I'm not cool
I think
right now.
You know who I think would be a good fight?
Who?
You and 6ix9ine. What's that guy's name?
That's
Tekashi?
my friend. That's my best friend.
Okay. Oh, you and Tekashi?
Yeah. How much you pay for 6ix9ine? I broke with that shit.
Okay. Y'all seem like y'all would be a good fight.
That's my boy.
Or what about the Island Boys?
Both of them same time?
Yeah.
How much would you do for that? Now, granted, there ain't no weight cut. Remember, I weigh both like 240. No. I weigh both. They're probably 120 a piece.
He said 120 a piece.
Serious.
They probably both make up. Yeah, yo.
How much?
Would you fight them?
What's the money?
$1 million.
$1 million.
500,000.
Whoa, 500,000 a piece.
No, we're doing 500,000 for you to fight them.
Nigga, you must be out there fucking mind. I said $1 million minimum.
$1 million minimum.
Yo, hold on. This is why I beef with big rappers. Me and Lil Baby ain't cool right now.
You and Lil Baby, that would be a good fight.
Baby
you not cool with Lil Baby?
I don't know why. Nigga was in the fields. You know what I mean? I dissed him.
I don't have beef with anybody. That's crazy. I have no beef.
We gonna squash beef soon because
I have no beef. I have no beef.
Okay, well I got beef. So me and Lil Baby, right? One time he DM'd me. He was like, "Yo, he's in New York. He's like, yo, I'm about to pull up on you. Send me an Addy." I sent him the Addy. Then nigga, because he sent me a location. He's like, I'm in New York. What's up?
All right, we'll set it up on Zeus.
How much you think that would get?
Lil Baby?
Me and Lil Baby, yeah.
Let me call. I know his team. Let me call his team. No,
nigga, I don't give a fuck what he about to get. How much you gonna pay me?
$1 million.
Fuck out of here, nigga. If you give me 1.5, 2, we might be talking now.
1.5?
It's Little fucking Baby, my nigga.
How many? You think a lot of people?
The nigga get 300 on the occasion. I can't get at least. Yo, this thing must be tweaking. I should be getting at least 3.
How many pay-per-view buys you think you would? What would you sell the fight at?
Hold on.
Yeah, how much? What's the price point?
To be honest, you could do this shit at I believe $34.99. You do this $34.99. It's Lil Baby. Let's think about how many albums.
How many rounds?
That don't matter. We're talking about pay-per-view buys right now. Like, come on, we're talking about the money coming in that we can get paid.
All right, I'm with it. So 30.
So we're talking about.
You think 500,000 people would tune in? So the last fight.
Whoa.
So look, Jake Paul, and who was the guy that he fought? Nate Diaz. They generated a little over 500,000.
Okay,
that's what they said. So
200,000,
500,000.
So 200 paper. You can do the math. And by the way, anybody who's watching this, 200,000 pay-per-view buys.
Let's do the math.
Right, 200,000 pay-per-view buys at $34.99. Also, here's
200,000 times $35.
Okay, now
that's $7 million.
Oh,
and you want me give you 1.5.
Really 2.
But I gotta pay. I gotta pay for the production. I gotta pay.
Get 5. Listen, he get 5. I get 2. I'm good.
But that's the whole budget.
No, that's cap. See, this
you
is
just said 200,000.
No. Okay, you're right. No, it's 200,000. Let's not acting like there's not a gate. There's a gate. Okay,
but listen, I gotta pay certain fees. I gotta pay for the production. I gotta pay for the marketing. I gotta pay for.
So let me tell you,
I gotta take certain costs off the top for technology.
So the gate, there's gonna be mad sponsorships. Anything that could be.
Yeah, but that's y'all money.
No.
Okay,
yeah. Y'all the promoters. We're all in. Him 5 all in. I'm 2 all in. Whatever you sell, you could put, nigga. You could put whatever on the shorts.
How soon would you want to make this happen?
Tomorrow, nigga.
He said tomorrow.
I want people to think this. Maybe we're about to squash our beef, but like to keep it real, we should probably box.
Who else do you have beef with?
Okay, damn. Who
are all your beefs? I'm about to interview you. Who are all your beefs?
Man,
I'm just joking. We about to.
Well, here's the problem. The other niggas I beef with is irrelevant.
Who are you beef with?
Y'all don't even know their name.
Let me hear them.
But I can't even say I'm gonna be honest. You wouldn't even know them.
Okay,
like
mainstream beef.
Okay, mainstream.
Not.
Oh, you know who dissed me? But that's my boy Low Key, and I think he about to come back around type shit.
So you getting nervous?
No. You know who dissed me on the song? Right before Gunna pop back out, he dropped one of his old snippets leaked when he was like, "I've been something in a pandemic. Fuck academics." And I was like, yo, you dissed me on your song, you snitching? Like, what's up? Me and Gunna. Come on now. Fuck you,
That actually be a good fight. That'd be
Fuck a good fight. We here to collect money. Wait, hold on. Do y'all really care about the fights?
Hold on, wait. You think you can get Gunna?
If
you got in the ring, can you get a boxing ring with Gunna? Who do you think will win?
I beat the brakes off Gunna. The nigga.
Why?
Bruh, Gunna couldn't last in jail for like 4 months.
Oh, God.
You think he could last with me? I'm twice his weight. Stop like.
So you think you can beat Gunna?
I think I'll beat the majority.
I'm putting my money on Gunna.
I'll take your money too. I believe I'd be the majority of these boxers. I'm not gonna say Blueface. Number one, anybody who's 6 foot like.
And Gunna's in shape now. Gunna's in shape now too.
Ozempic. I'm beating the brakes off that little nigga. Stop playing.
He's in shape.
I'm beating the brakes off of that nigga.
I don't know if you can get Gunna.
And also, I'm dapping it up with him because I got to do his comeback interview. Like, we got to get him back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know, none of the real niggas fucking with him, but I fuck with everybody. None of the real niggas fucking 6'9". That's my guy. So I got to do an interview with him after. So we might do an interview before.
I think you and Gunna would be the better.
That'd be great, right?
Better match.
Millions?
I think that'd be lit. That's a good one.
That's one of those where the audience want both of us to lose. Like, we just punch each other. You know why people hate me? That's
why do people hate you?
Well, here's the thing.
Let me ask, why do you think people
I'm going to get into that, but that's my negotiation tactic in a boxing match.
I got you, but why do you think
it's like Floyd? Remember when everybody wanted Floyd to lose? Y'all got to just pay this to me get knocked out.
Why do people dislike you?
I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm an ugly reflection of what not only they and social media has created, but what is the actual truth. That's simply it. In the sense of, I don't really care about some of these associations to try to go along and get along. I'm just going to say whatever it is. And I'm going to be, like, you can ignore a fan saying something in your comments. You can't ignore when Akademiks said the same thing. Now, here's the thing. Why would someone who has a big platform say what I'm saying, especially if, well, they can't get no attention if they don't get an interview from you? I'm at the point where the majority of content and views I get without you. I don't need you. So me talking shit about you is more profitable than me talking to you. And it's a very unique place I've gotten to. I guess people enjoy me talking shit, this and third, but it's given me the opportunity now to be like, well, I get to say whatever I actually feel. And honestly, a lot of times that doesn't jive with what people is the acceptable thing. For example, I had an issue with Erykah Badu. I just said what I felt. Yeah. I had an issue back in the day. I remember, I'm like, people don't even know. Back in the day before Gunna actually did what he did, Sauce Walker was getting at him. And my blog was posting it. He hits me up. He's like, yo, bro, how could I want to change the conversation? Can I pay you to just only talk about my album? No, I'm independent. It's not like I'm like some dude who's like, I need your money to pay rent. And also, here's the thing, because like without bar none, like I'm gonna sound egotistical, but this is just honestly how it is. Just like if you said Zeus is the #1 independent black-owned platform, which it is, I'm the #1 most influential media voice when it comes to independent media and just music business in general. So because of that, when I say something, it's like, all right, cool. But it does garner hate. And I know it comes with it. I'm not kind of shying away from it. And whatever it comes with, you know what I mean? I've had that realization years ago. Whatever it comes with, let's go up with it. Whatever it is, man. Fuck it. But people like me too. So I try not to dwell on the hate.
For sure, but I'll just say you get a lot more hate. You do get a lot more hate. From
certain communities.
For sure.
Right? So like, for example.
You do have a lot of people who love you and like you for sure.
And I focus on them.
Yeah, and that's
what you got to do in life.
But I do think you're very controversial. You're very controversial, which is good.
So
you know, you speak, like I said, I love the fact that you're unapologetically you.
Yeah, gotta be.
So guys, tune in next time when I interview. No, I'm sure. No, but real talk.
How much you give me for the show? Let's talk about that.
How much?
Yo, I'm trying to
this guy is amazing.
Nah, we played around.
Real talk. You want to come to Zeus?
I believe we could do a lot of business together. Me and
that's that media
like
train. That's that media train answer.
No. Well, here's the thing. This podcast. So like, this podcast is exclusively distributed through Spotify. I own it still, right? my next move or if I stay is all kind of determined on, do I need to stay exclusive based on what I'm getting paid, or do I want to go out there and kill what I want to eat, or maybe do I want to talk to Zeus and see if they got a bigger check? It's the beauty of being independent, just like the beauty that you guys are independent.
We would love to work. We would love to work with you.
Thank you.
And come to death row. I mean, come to Zeus. No, I'm so joking.
The nigga said, "Come to death row."
I'm joking.
You think somebody gonna die on Zeus one time? Y'all don't publish it out, right?
That was a joke. No, we're not death row. I said,
yo, Suge right now in jail. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about?
No, real talk. No, I think we're a safe place. We're a safe network. There's a lot that happens over there, but the safety is our top priority.
If I ask you for a loan, would you give it to me? I just want to see how your pockets is kind of set up.
How much you need, man? In 15.
Nah. Let's say I hit you. I'm like, yo, I need like a $4 million.
Yeah, I might shoot it.
Damn, you rich. Fuck.
I might shoot it to you. That's
$4 million.
Yeah.
God damn, this boy rich.
I mean, if you needed a loan, you say you pay me back.
Yeah, I
might have a little payment, payment schedule. I might give you.
How much liquid you got in the bank? Yeah, that was too far.
Pocket change. We're doing very well, guys. We're doing very well. We're very blessed. We're blessed to be a blessing.
All right, man. The next time you see me, I might be on Zeus. I might be. Hey, were y'all the ones who had Sweetie at the thing, or was it some other company? Sweetie was like a ring girl.
No, that's a whole nother girl. No. That was
oh, that's the Zone.
The Zone, yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is the Zone? Ain't that a streaming company?
Yeah, I think they're SVOD, but they focus more on boxing.
You're beating their ass though, right?
They're sports. I mean, I don't know their numbers, but
you're beating their ass.
I mean, I think Zeus is loud. Well, I don't know where we are right now.
Oh shit.
I know we don't have anything crazy right now, but let's see where we are. You want to see where we are?
Yeah. I'm like that nigga in Paid in Full, be like, yo, nigga look like money.
Oh wow, we're number one. We're number one in the App Store.
You're capping.
So anyway,
yeah. Nah, hey, listen. I love that you promote your brand. I want you to win. I think we had a good vibe. I would love to. We'll have much more of these conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of just having somebody who is off the culture being in this position, because usually it's not. Absolutely. And that's the thing that even any criticism anybody could levy, we have to realize that the majority of time, like for example, Viacom is not owned by one of us, and niggas was up there acting a fool.
Yep.
So if you go, I get you on that point. We're like, if y'all gonna have energy for me, why you ain't have energy for these people?
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And again, I know I could sense that you already have some type of devotion and just, you owe to the culture, that you are going to be bringing a much more multifaceted palette and great things to come on your network. We just got to follow you on the journey, man. And hopefully we keep supporting you, and hopefully it keeps succeeding. And hopefully you just don't sell before that point. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I'm telling you, somebody's going to try to buy your ass in like less than 2 years. Yeah. It's getting too big.
It's getting too big. I appreciate that. And thank you so much. I appreciate the time, all the questions. I genuinely appreciate this interview. This has been a lot of fun. I don't do a lot of interviews, but this has been fun. And congratulations on everything that you're doing. You have my support. We love to work with you. The feeling is mutual regarding all the kind words that you said about me and the network. And look forward to seeing your growth as well, man. And, how far you take things. So we'd love to continue to keep the conversations going and collaborate with you on something. And hopefully we can get something to stick together, man. So,
my guy, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Zeus.
Appreciate it.
Listen, I was. Somebody asked me to give me a credit card for Zeus. I kept giving the credit card. I was bouncing.
Hey,
now I'm on my put the real credit card.
We're gonna pay him for this interview. We're gonna throw him a check.
Man, I'm out of here, man. Thank you for watching another episode of Off the Record Podcast. Definitely go check out my man Lemmy.
Lemuel Plummer.
You don't
See,
like
he
Lemmy?
ain't even know. He was like, "Well,
No. Well, the name.
hold on. What's your real name?
Livingston Allen.
Oh, Livingston. All right, y'all.
Well,
I'm out.
I was born in Jamaica.
I know. I was just joking.
All right, man. We out of here, man. No, it's all good. Well, I was born in Jamaica, which is like a British like colony. So like most of us are like slave descendants. So we have like our whatever.
I
Anyway,
got you. No, it's all good.
Please,
Hey, y'all heard that? All the rappers out there that got beef with him, his real name is Livingston Allen. All right.
one rapper tried to do that, and then I exposed his baby mama getting piped out while she was pregnant. Yeah, that was Freddie Gibbs. He tried it. He tried it.
Funny.
I ended him. He tried it.
Hey,
He tried it.
but real talk. We are going to Jamaica, so
Let's get it.
we got the baddies going to Jamaica.
I can come.
But yeah, it's gonna be lit. I would love for you to take us around in Jamaica. We pay for that. We'll cut you a check to come out there and party with the girls. Well, hold on, what part of Jamaica? We're going to Montego Bay.
Yeah.
And Kingston.
Yeah, Montego Bay is on one side, Kingston's the other.
I know.
So,
everybody keeps saying go to. They said all the parties are in Kingston.
So a lot of tourist stuff in Montego Bay, but once you're getting into the real partying, you're gonna eventually get to Kingston.
Okay.
So it's all a little journey.
What's
man.
the other area
Jamaica's
that they
the best
mentioned?
place in the world.
The little area. It's like
Negril?
an hour away. Negril, yeah.
Come on, man. Negro Locherias. Come on, man.
Is that
It's
nice
great
over there?
times. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Best beaches you've ever seen. You
Okay.
ever been to Jersey beaches? Disgusting. Disgusting. You ever been? Oh my God. Waters, like the water's green. Like this shit is a little crazy.
Well, we're excited to go out there in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. But thank you, man.
All right, man. Listen, thank you for watching. And until next time, man, it's your boy, DJ Akademiks. I am out. Peace.